Hello there, hello there, hello there, everyone. How the devil are we all? Welcome to Kristi and Keb's Not At All Racist Against Hispanic People Hour. That's not a thing. It's not. I don't know what you're fucking talking about. I didn't mix up two Hispanic people because they had Hispanic names. That didn't happen.
Oh, no, you just forgot one person's name because it was Hispanic.
Well, and she's a woman, so, I mean,
yeah.
One from her. But we found out who she is, so it's all good. Anyway, I'm Kevin Logan, the Not Racist, and joining me is also not a racist, does Kristi Winters.
Yeah, in this case, I really wish you would have had a hot mic because it would have given so much more context to that opening. It wasn't nearly as bad as Kevin is making it out. But of course, that's where the humor comes from, the exaggeration. Yeah, I'm doing all right. It's Friday. I am doing all good. Looking forward to the weekend. Looking forward to our trash movies tomorrow night this time.
Is that tomorrow? I'd totally forgotten. I thought it might have been Sunday. I don't know. Whatever. Yeah, we'll do that tomorrow
Saturday.
then. If you say so. You are the general. I can't deny an order.
General.
Mine is not to question mine. Mine is but to stream or die or whatever.
There you go. Yeah. So all good here. Can't wait for this show that we spent so much time planning and organizing.
I think we talked a lot more about Blackadder Goes Forth than we did about this.
We mostly talked about Blackadder.
Yeah. But to be fair, Blackadder's a lot better than this. This is shit.
Which we also agreed. Yes.
Yeah. So
we actually preferred talking about Blackadder than what we were going to talk about on this show.
Yeah, which is fair enough because I imagine probably the audience do too. So
yes, I would imagine they'd rather be watching Blackadder right now.
I mean, to be honest with you, if you prefer talking about this show to Blackadder, you're not allowed to watch this show. Get out. You're not welcome here.
Go watch some Blackadder and realize why you're wrong.
No, I'm only joking. Anyway, talking of freaks, Rudy Giuliani. Just when you thought he couldn't drag American democracy through the mud any further, he manages to up his game.
Squeaky Rudy.
Yeah.
He does. Rudy, squeaky.
He farts.
The tuck, yeah. Rudy.
Yeah, and hang on, I need to share with you so you can see what's on the fucking screen. Well, I suppose you could watch it live, but why would you?
I am watching it live, actually.
Oh, okay.
So I can't see that. Her name is Melissa Carone.
Well, just Corone, apparently, because America.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, this is a really cursed image that someone made. So
has it been determined if she was drunk?
I don't know if she was drunk or not. She certainly appeared to be, because the thing is, I'll give people an insight into how pathetic my life is. I watched one House, one Senate from the state legislature in Michigan.
Not one, but two.
Not one, but two of these meetings, lasting nearly 13 hours over the course of the two of them. And she appeared at both. She appeared at the first one and was much less combative. So I don't know if she was necessarily drunk or high or whatever in the second one, but she definitely appeared more louche.
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 I don't know this word. What is louche? I mean, I like the sound of it.
It's basically looseness based on being drunk, so a kind of sloppiness of personal standing.
That is a fucking brilliant word.
Yeah.
In so many ways. One, it's fun to say.
It is.
Two, it kind of describes the loose, sloshy movement of the person's body. And three, it's a word we need because it is something that people do, and I've never heard it before.
Yeah, it's a thing.
I'd probably say like sway drunkenly, which is not nearly as descriptive as louche.
Oh, so you've ruined it now, Haruka. Louche V.
No,
we don't need that. No.
And I see EP Stead also likes unicorns and trains. So, thanks for the update.
My unicorn's entrance? What?
Unicorns and trains.
Okay, I still don't know what you mean. I'm now less creeped out, but I still don't know what that means.
It's something that EP Stead, but in the chat said.
But what the fuck do they mean? What do they mean? I'm so
They
confused.
do the same kind of fucking random surrealist kind of humor you do.
Oh, okay, okay, maybe, yeah. Because I don't have unicorns or trains. I possess neither of these things.
Yeah, of all the things you've talked about being in your house, a train set has not been one of them.
I do actually have a weird thing. It's for when my nephew comes over. It's a book, right? And he opens up, and it just tells the story of a train that goes on a journey. And there's a little train. You have to drag it back on the thing, and it creates obviously the internal mechanism, which allows it to go round. And each double page has a track on it, and the train will go round when you do that. And you read along the story, and the train goes through the fields, and blah de blah. Yeah. So I do technically sort of have a train thing in my house. But that's just because I need to keep him as quiet as possible because children are fucking infuriating.
Yes, keep them occupied and
when
stimulated.
I have to babysit, I regularly feel like I need to escape and can't.
Yeah, it's a series of, keeping someone entertained and here's something to look at.
It's like, imagine a normal person, remove the ability to talk to them, and then put them on cocaine. You've got a child. It's impossible.
That's why they are exhausting. Yeah.
They are. I mean, I love him dearly. I would literally die for that kid. But I am never happier than when I get to hand him back to his mother. Literally never more relieved. And I'm honestly, very rarely more tired.
I've never had kids for precisely that reason. Because I didn't want the job. And I think people who want to be parents are the perfect people to be parents. I'm not one of them.
Yeah, exactly. There's one thing that interactions with my nephew has proved to me is that my decision never to have children was absolutely correct.
Oh, I see menopause as like the finish line. I've made it.
Well, you get to a finish line. I can still fucking bang them out in the 80s, potentially.
You got to worry about that your whole life.
Yeah,
knock someone up when you're 52.
Although I don't have to put up with regular genital bleeding, so,
No, it's all trade-offs.
There's,
by the way, speaking of random toys, I'm having my groceries delivered, and they're running this special at a place called Reva, where if you buy so much, in groceries, you get these little stickers, and they give you a little book, like a little stamp book. When you fill it up, you get a discount on these sort of like knockoff Lego / Fisher Price toy sets. And I realized, sort of after about 2 weeks of having these just sort of, set aside, that I had enough to get 1.5. So I started looking through them to pick one out. And then I got more groceries, and he didn't give me more stickers. And now I'm like, oh, damn, I'm going to have to go buy more stuff to get the stickers to fill out the second one now. I kind of got my heart set on the, family vacation one. Looks fun. But it just seemed very random toy attraction, at some point in your life. They're fun to go back to that time in your memory. But anyway, I see you looking up data, so I think you're ready now.
Kristi, I was born ready.
Were you?
No.
Well, let's go.
No, my mother was in labour for 28 hours, so that I definitely wasn't born ready.
No, you
I took my fucking sweet time. Yeah, that's to scoop me out with a fucking rake. Anyway, I would say it was an attempted abortion that went wrong, but whatever. I'm a survivor.
Anyway, you're so dark.
I am very dark, but I'm alive, so I don't really fucking care. It wouldn't bother me if someone tried to abort me. I'd be like, okay, yeah, Mum was doing her fucking shit. I don't care. Anyway, but I survived. Whatever. So, Rudy Giuliani. Talking of people who should have been aborted, Rudolph Giuliani. What a segue.
Yes.
Dragging America through the mud. It's democracy through the pig shit. Taking his weird, I can only describe it as a kind of Victorian sideshow, freak show attraction thing around the country.
That seems accurate to me.
Yeah. He's been going to Arizona. He did a thing in Gettysburg, Pennsylvania. A kind of intellectual Pickett's charge, which is appropriate for Gettysburg, I suppose. Little history joke for you there.
Yeah, it's quite a history joke. Be a beat.
Yes, he went to Georgia with a smoking gun, which was instantly debunked. I got another even darker joke in that because he said smoking gun in Georgia, and I retweeted that, quote tweeted that with, "Is this technically a suicide note?"
Oh, right, I remember that now.
So, and of course he went to Lansing, Michigan. Lansing being the state capital, and there were hearings on the voter fraud. Firstly, in the Michigan State Senate, which lasted 7 fucking hours, and they interviewed, I think, every freak in the entire state of Michigan. Just some of the weirdest people you'll ever see. Trust me, we will get to them. This is not going to be a short show. But there we go.
Kevin has done his proper research. Kevin does more research than the people over at Lotus Eaters.
Well, that's true, but that's because I do some research.
You do any amount of research, I do, which is a non-zero number.
I do a non-zero amount of research, that is true. There's so many... Again, there's so much nonsense to go through. It's almost sort of impossible to get a proper grasp of it all. But anyway, so you've got that. Then there was a House of Representatives, a state House of Representatives in Michigan, Lansing, Michigan, the day after, where Rudy Giuliani and some of the same characters appeared again. And I watched that, and that was 5.5 hours of my life I'll never get back. But to be honest with you, I'm quite glad never to get them back, because, like I say, it's genuinely a kind of freak show insane asylum. Genuinely, like, there are some of them that I'm not entirely sure should be allowed in public for their own safety.
Well, I know that on a very different level, I found it quite satisfying to read out the entire decision of the 3rd District Court of Appeals, because I'd never done that before. I'd never taken an entire court order and just read through it, even myself, like every single word. And having done that work, there's a little bit of like satisfaction. Now, not quite the satisfaction, I guess, perverse satisfaction you get from seeing things that are bizarre. But yes, I think they're kind of kindred emotions.
Yeah, exactly. It is seeing things that are bizarre. It's like, I imagine myself watching this in the same way that someone who'd never seen the exotic animals of the world going to a zoo. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's a bit scared, but fascinated and can't look away.
Was your jaw hung open?
Yeah. But I feel able to get up close and look, because there's usually like obviously a fence in a zoo. In this case, there's the literal epistemic distance and the literal thousands of miles distance that I feel I'm safe. Like, they can't literally get me, so I'm like able
on the
to
other
watch
side of the world.
Yes. Firstly, this man's name is Senator McBroom, which I thought was a little bit funny. Just to start, that is the tip of the iceberg. Don't get me wrong; it gets fucking crazy.
Okay.
And I want to introduce you firstly to... there are 2 heroes of this story for me. Actually, 3. 3, technically. One in the Senate, where a woman by the name of Santana, Sylvia Santana, from Detroit, she's a Michigan State Senator, is unbelievably badass and just slaps down the nonsense constantly. She's a Democrat, not surprising. As indeed are the other 2. In the House, there's Camilleri, Darren Camilleri, and A.C. Johnson, who are both Democrats as well, who I just... the ballsiness of them, because they're in front of a crowd of pretty nasty bastards. That room was full of some real hardcore fuckers, and they weren't taking shit. Anyway, so where's the first bookmark? Is 42:25.
Imagine going through 42 minutes and then before you find something worth...
Well, there is other stuff at the beginning, like there's some shenanigans where he's trying to set out, like, can you not clap, please? They constantly have to keep telling the drum people, stop clapping, because you're just wasting time.
Is this the guy with the router, the former state senator?
Yeah, he's a former state senator.
This guy.
He's a fucking lunatic, just genuinely unhinged.
Yeah.
The fact that this man was elected is worrying for American democracy. But anyway,
yeah, it's pretty fringe.
Sylvia Santana, Detroit, D, doesn't take any shit.
They haven't demonstrated chain of custody on any of the key election data. So
is that coming through?
Yeah,
okay?
I'm concerned. You can't just go off and fix it
awesome.
with a recount of the ballot. That's downstream. If you've already got this whole chain of custody broken by...
Can I just say in the chat, it's Darin. It's an I, not an E. Please, spell Mr. Camilleri's name correctly. See, I'm a hypocrite. I'm a hypocrite because I totally forgot Sylvia Santana's entire name. So,
at the qualified voter file level and at the poll book level, what good's a recount going to do?
Well, I think that it's pretty telling that the Trump campaign...
Oh, this is the other guy, sorry. This is Irwin.
In Michigan.
Apologies.
But
he's pretty badass,
too.
too.
They know that a recount would mess up their current strategy, which is just to throw up a bunch of smoke and mirrors. And it's particularly telling also that you here, sir, in committee, you have continued to repeat information about Antrim County, and then when you were corrected with the testimony that this committee heard, you just go back and repeat the same old misconstrued statements about what happened in Antrim County. So forgive me if it's difficult after reading these lawsuits and listening to your testimony to understand even what you're talking about. We need some evidence, we need some proof. All we've got here are conjecture and musings by former Senator Colbeck.
Can we pause this?
Badass. Anyway, so this is Santana, this is Irwin, those are the Democrats on the committee.
Yeah, so what I wanted to jump in and say is they gave this guy, I watched part of this, probably only about 2 hours though. They gave this guy...
Fucking quitter. Some people have got no fucking commitment to the bit.
None at all. Yeah. Gave him about 15 minutes to speak, and I don't know if that's because he was a former state senator or whatever else, or some sort of, I don't know, self-declared expert. But his he had a couple main points, which is unfortunate because then they get lost. But one of his main points was that the chain of command was broken. The chain of evidence, I should say. The chain of evidence was broken because when the computers that were doing the the scanning and the counting and the storing of the data about the ballots were connected to a box that he thought was connected to an outside router, which means it was connected to the internet.
Yeah.
And somehow this breaks the chain of evidence. And what he wants to do is say, look, when there's a court of law and there's a suspect and you have a gun and you break the chain of evidence, the case might get thrown out. So we have to, he was basically saying we have to throw all these votes out. And he kept going on and on. Yeah.
There is a certain truth to that in a legal case because the conclusion a murder already happened is set. No one denies that there's a murder been taking place.
Yeah.
Or a killing, let's say. You can't say necessarily murder. But there is a dead body. So the conclusion is there. It's the chain of evidence for the gun and connecting it to a potential murderer. Or even suicide or whatever, Whereas in this case, the conclusion, the dead body would be voter fraud. We don't have that. So the fact that there might be some sort of loose thing, you then have to trace that back to the dead body at some point.
Yeah, precisely. So what he's basically alleging is to, well, he had a couple main points. Because we had no sort of airlocked chain of evidence that the ballots were tampered with. And also because it wasn't secured in the way, there was this break in the chain, then there was fraud. But he's not actually alleging fraud. He's just pointing to a router saying this might go outside, but no one would tell me where it would go because they said it fell out the sky to the scope of my job as a poll watcher or challenger.
Which it does, yeah.
Okay. So, and then also there was this thing about a down ballot race where they had to add more information after the ballot was locked, and a clerk went in and tried to make the amended change to update the ballot, and something was kind of kept in, and on the initial count there was a weird skew in the ballots and how they were, and then when they canvassed it they realized the problem and corrected it with the physical ballots. So he was saying that was proof that the computers can be manipulated to produce outcomes, but of course they would have found the problem because the Board of Canvassers would have to certify the election. So, yeah, that was kind of like just some context of what the conversation is here.
But yeah, exactly. And I just wanted to point out Erwin going, no, this is bullshit. This is ridiculous.
Yeah, it is.
And actually,
it really
to address someone in the, who was it, Sean in the chat, says, this is about as close to you're full of shit as state representative can get. Technically, no. In the second one we're going to look at, AC Johnson, who is a badass black woman, who has had to sit through hours of nonsense, just starts saying, you're lying. I'm just going to call you out, you're lying now.
Wow.
And I understand it, because the second one, this one, at least they got to like actually question and have some sort of interaction with them. In the second one, it was essentially set up to allow Rudy Giuliani to do his freak show bit, where you just have them speaking for long stretches, and then they each person gets one question at the end, each representative. And it was just literally just, Rudy, you've got the floor. The world's press are watching. Tell lies.
Yeah. It's
absolute madness. Anyway, we then get a guy admitting that he was arrested for assault and battery at the fucking at the account.
Yep.
Which is fun.
On Wednesday, to follow up, and I actually was watching a tabulator machine. Anyway.
That's the thing. That's
time's up.
That's on McBroom's phone.
Yeah, it's a time's up.
Yeah, but why doesn't the Michigan State House have a fucking system for that? Why does he have to do that on his phone? What the fuck? Anyway, and for the first hour of this, he can't work out how to turn it off in time. So it keeps going off for like a minute.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. Like, oh, for fuck's sake.
It's important to know that I ended up in assault and battery with a work.
Sounds like a fire alarm, you know?
I'm very sorry about why this alarm is so hard to shut off.
See, he's doing what the fuck? Anyway, but in the middle of that alarm, your man admitted he got involved in an assault and battery at the fucking count.
Yep.
What it appears happened, and this is some stories that have been corroborated, they were being complete pricks. The Republicans were being complete pricks in Detroit, specifically because they were trying to disenfranchise black people. There were literally precincts where they were objecting to every single vote coming out of the precinct. Regardless, they were just, essentially they were being told by whoever was in charge of the Republican poll watchers, object to everyone there, because everyone there is black, or the vast majority of the people who live in that precinct are black. So just object to it all. They were being complete pricks, and they were being thrown out for being pricks. And they're moaning about that. That's they were being treated unfairly. No, you were harassing and annoying people, just trying to do their job.
The guy actually told, in his testimony, he mentions that he told people he was with, "You just watch, I'm going to get thrown out for assault."
Yeah, which I mean is a bit telling. Yeah.
Yeah, and then the police took me away.
Yeah. Then this guy does this weird bit where he shouts his name. He's like, this is one. It's so odd.
Was it Dale Shore or something?
Something.
Like
well, he's about to tell us very loudly.
Yeah.
The officials who are supposed to care and do something about this, they don't want to even listen to the fraud that we know exists. I would plead to everybody's sense of truth and justice to fair and honest elections. Are you listening? Will you even remember my name in 30 seconds? Say my name, Chris Shornack. Say my name, Chris Shornack. I do thank you for your time, and I hope for the love of God, Shornack. Truth, and fair elections, that you will take the proper action and avoid.
Yeah, and of course they won't remember your name because you're a lunatic.
I'm surprised you didn't put Chris Shornack in a timestamp.
Yeah. No, well, I just put shouts his name.
Okay.
The mullet guy. I haven't seen a mullet, unironically, in so long.
You don't live in Michigan, then?
I don't live in Michigan.
No, I can tell. Lots of people still have unironic mullets.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you very much for your time today. Yeah. All right. And then
Look
Andrew
at this.
Miller.
Oh.
Dr. Duvial, I apologize. We took that little break there, and I hadn't read who was on deck. So
look at that. This motherfucker. It's business at the front, party at the back. Boom.
I think it might just be male pattern baldness at the front.
People might got a little further.
I bet he's had that haircut.
Appreciate your forbearance. Welcome to the Senate Oversight Committee. You have 3 minutes.
Okay, I was a poll challenger at TCF Center. I worked 10 p.m. to 5 a.m. I saw a few things, and I tried to make several statements to several different organizations, and I had nobody really follow up with me. Or when I did get a statement back from my affidavit, it was different from what I had spoke over the phone. A few things that I saw. Right off the bat, I saw table supervisors distinguished with the emblem on the chest wearing political statements. So,
what kind of political statements could these be, I wonder?
Yeah, and you know what? There's no law against that. There's literally, like, no, it's not electioneering. The election is over, and it wasn't even a political party.
Yeah, well, exactly, yeah, they literally said, I think it gets pointed out.
saw Black Lives Matter on masks.
It's Black Lives Matter.
I saw T-shirts, undershirts wearing Black Lives Matter, which I didn't know was appropriate. The table I worked at,
white man wants to police what people can wear. Free speech doesn't count when it's not a white person.
Yeah, exactly. For a start, they're not in a voting booth. The votes have been cast. Secondly,
the election is over.
Secondly, that's not even a party political issue.
Nope.
Unless you're openly admitting that you think the Republicans shouldn't think that.
Hey, don't you remember that when Mitt Romney said Black Lives Matter?
Yeah, there have been Republicans who have attended these events.
Yeah, not many.
Not many, but there have been. Like, it shows that it's not necessarily a partisan thing.
Yeah.
Unless you want to make it so.
Yeah, and there are a lot of people who support Black Lives Matter who hate the Democratic Party.
Oh, yeah.
So,
absolutely.
You know?
Several ballots that I challenged. One, when through the process, the scanning of the ballot, the computer really popped up a little box that said duplicate ballot already processed. I challenged that. I saw a ballot that was opened up that was completely blank, front and back.
By the way, they make some accusations in all of this, and it never gets there's never any evidence provided for this. They just make accusations. Yeah.
You know, people put blank ballots in as a protest vote. Like, I'm not voting for any of you.
Yeah.
Or just a blank ballot doesn't necessarily mean that there's anything wrong going on. I mean, it's odd, but it's not criminal.
Yeah. We'll skip forward in Mullet Guy's thing, because one of the senators, who I've not... if I've put him down, it's either Irwin or Santana, who said a cool thing, but whatever.
Because I was under the impression that the tabulator's a counter. So I asked her, how will the tabulator uncover that? She told me, and she assured me, the tabulator would uncover the error.
By the way, if you listen very carefully, you can hear shouting, because they've got overflow rooms because of social distancing and stuff, and you can literally hear them shouting from the other room, because these people are animals.
I thought it was like a protest happening outside a window, near the hearing room, because I've heard that working in the Capitol Medicine. So. Yeah,
that's exactly, but they're not. They at one point, McBroom, who is a Republican, says to one of the clerks, "Can you go next door and make an appeal?" No, he puts out an appeal to the Trump supporters in the room. Can some of you go in there and ask them to quiet down, otherwise I will have to stop this meeting.
Shut up, people.
Okay. Yeah.
It's not a movie theater. We can hear you.
Any other members have a question? Senator Santana, please.
Thank you, Chairman. You mentioned that some of the people had on shirts that said black people matter, right? Or what did you say? Black Lives Matter. Yeah. Okay. Did anybody have on a shirt that said vote for this person, vote for that person?
Not that I was aware of.
Okay. Thank you, Chair.
Distinguished on the face masks, and it was, I want to make this clear, it was underneath the T-shirt of the table supervisors. It wasn't outward, it was underneath the T-shirt that they were wearing.
I understand.
Chairman.
Thank you.
With all due respect,
I mean, there's a sign right here that says black votes for Trump. So, I mean...
I don't believe that there is a statute that prohibits the wearing of non-political candidate shirts. So it may, so
that's the Republican chair of the committee saying there's no rule against that. You're literally whinging about nothing, you fucking mullet-haired freak.
Yep.
That's what he said. That's the monologue inside his head. He has to be a bit more professional than that.
Yeah.
But being a Republican, even if you want these stupid people's votes, you don't. I mean, the Republicans have contempt for their own base. Let's be perfectly honest.
Yeah.
he must have to deal with mullet motherfuckers all the time.
All
like, rural fucking
all day
Michigan.
Long. All day
Jesus.
long.
Yeah. And so he's like, oh, fuck's sake, another one of these freaks. Jesus. Anyway, hello there, Michigander. You know, all of that. Where's the next funny bit?
Timestamp.
Crowd noises and the... Oh, yeah.
There people are asking if we've gotten to the fart yet. Do we want to go to my fart compilation, or do you want to wait till...
Oh, no, we're doing this sequentially, motherfuckers. Sit back and enjoy. Okay? This, like I said, this will not be a short show. The term happy hour has rarely been accurate time-wise. Never more so than tonight, I think.
4 hours, I think, was our max.
I think that's the most we've done,
Yeah.
And I don't think this will quite get that far, but maybe, we'll see. Because we've also got a Sargon video to do, which could take forever.
Yeah, you normally do.
Yeah. So we're doing this sequentially. The fart does not come until right at the end of the second hearing, so...
There's apparently some people think you don't like mullets.
Yeah. That is correct. They are an abomination. They are against God, and people who sport them should be hunted for sport.
What if they're like in a sort of like a 1980s cyberpunk kind of, like with gel spikes in the front?
That's not really a mullet then. That's something else. I don't know what that would be, but that wouldn't be a mullet. A mullet has to be au natural.
Okay, no product in your mullet.
If you're using gel, well, not necessarily au natural. Like you can use, I don't know, conditioner or something, but you can't use additives to spike up or anything. It has to be, like I say, business at the front, party at the back.
Yeah, it's not hate for guys with long hair. It's just mullets on anyone.
Yeah, no, you can sport long hair. You can sport long hair, absolutely. That's grand. The mullet is an absolute disgrace. There's no excuse. I'm sorry, no. There's no excuse.
I think you also criticize a mullet on different gendered people.
Especially.
Yeah, like it's the mullet, not the person wearing it.
I expect men to be stupid enough to wear a mullet. Other genders, they're generally a little bit more sensible, but not always.
Well, yeah, we'll see. It is Michigan. Maybe we'll get some examples of that.
Well, we do see. I genuinely. Well, we'll get to it. Because I'm going to have to explain my cavalcade of emotions. It's like something from a different planet. I don't even know how to describe it.
I have a large stack of cards yet to go through and would very much like to provide this opportunity for those who've taken the time to be here. If there is somebody here who has some credibility with the crowd and has the opportunity to share with them that their disorder is only disrupting what they're trying to accomplish, I'd appreciate you taking that time to do that. Otherwise, I'll have to be forced to adjourn the meeting if it gets so difficult to hear anymore. So...
That's the...
We'll continue.
Can you pause it?
Yep.
That's the state senator version of, if you kids don't be quiet, I'm going to pull this car around and we're going to go home.
Yeah, exactly. And that's the kind of dispassionate voice of the Republican who knows he's going to get nowhere with it.
Yeah.
He's asking a rabble of idiots to ask another rabble of idiots to stop being rabbly idiots. And he's just oh, fuck's sake.
My people.
Can I not get back to taking bribes from land dealers or whatever? Jesus. Can I? That's what I signed up for. I didn't sign up for dealing with humans. Jesus. Anyway, so that's him saying, "Can you just quiet the fuck down?" Here we are. This is the right. We have to skip forward quite a bit because there's some boring shit in the middle.
Okay.
This next woman is genuinely brave. Not this woman, because we'll have to.
Thank you. Thanks.
Right, this next woman who appears.
Next, we have Artisha Bomer.
Artisha Bomer.
Oh, my apologies, ma'am. Thank you. And then after Artisha, we have Charles Richard, and after him, Evan Schock. Welcome to the Senate Oversight Committee. You have 3 minutes.
Thank you, committee. I am so happy to be here. Let me put my hat back on because this is my prize right here. This is the winner who won the election before it was cheated.
Oh, great.
America. I don't know what it is about your nation that provides us people like Miss Balmer. She is wearing She's an urban Detroiter. She explains that in her testimony. She's wearing a Trump 2020 cowboy hat with an American flag brim.
True.
Oversized badges.
Yes.
Supporting Donald Trump. Some sort of weird Old Glory cravat / tie.
Correct.
And
I think
she's a lunatic.
Oh, I think she's also sporting an American flag on her lapel.
Yes, she's also got a badge. And I remember watching just with my jaw on the floor thinking, I don't know what this is. I don't know what's happening now. I don't know what I'm watching. Am I asleep? Did I dream this person? I don't know. I
recognize this in English culture, if I'm honest.
Go on then.
When it's election time and the Raving Loonies party are... Sorry. Monster Raving Loony Party.
The official Monster Raving Loony Party.
Yes, sorry.
Because there was a fake one they tried to stop. Which would be absolutely appropriate and on brand for the Loonies. But there we go. They are literally... exactly, yeah. That's what they do. Yeah. Whenever you watch an English election thing, it maybe appears on your foreign... domestic there, but foreign to us, news station. And it's like the Prime Minister of the country, and there's some lunatic behind them wearing scuba gear. Yeah. Or with a big fucking massive pink hat, or dressed up like a fucking Muppet or something. Like, that's the Monster Raving Loony guy. 100%. They only go and stand in seats where they know there are going to be cameras, and they get to stand behind a famous politician looking silly. That's their entire shtick. This woman is trying to be taken seriously.
Monster Raving Loony Party is such a staple of British politics. They actually make a joke about having a similar type of candidate in Blackadder, I think at the third, with the Rotten Borough election.
Yeah. Literally, yeah. Second Blackadder reference tonight. Nice. Good.
Yeah, so this is like a farce in Britain. And here,
this is a real human being trying to, like, overturn an election.
By the force of her personality.
And she's got a forceful personality because she literally, I don't know if you can see what I've titled this next clip as.
Yes, I can.
Yep, she's interesting.
Okay. Did they know that they were for Biden? Was it a Biden dump? We don't know, huh? About 4:50 a.m., I witnessed a man spraying a chemical inside the ballot. It could have been air, but I also saw him put whiteout tape up inside of there, and he was walking around with this whiteout tape the whole night. I have witnesses. If you need to call on them, their name is Cheryl Constantino, Linda Sawyer, Judy Jump, Debbie Swaff, and Marlene Benser, including myself, Artesia Bomber. I can't get all into this because I probably got a few more seconds, but let me tell you, it was voter fraud at its finest, pure and calculated fraud. And I wouldn't be surprised if people up here was involved. But this young man right here, Senator McDaniel, Donald, I got to give you kudos. I see you're interested in this. And Senator Thies, I have to give you kudos because I see you're really paying attention. I wish Senator Lucido was here because I say he's paying attention. And now I think you will pay attention. And I plead the blood of Jesus over this fraud, and that everybody that was part of it and know about it will be convicted in their soul and their spirit. They won't sleep, they won't eat until they come right. Thank you, Jesus. Amen.
Thank you.
Yeah.
There you go. Yeah.
I hope the blood of Jesus. The blood. Woman, I mean, technically her cowboy hat falls off so much she just puts it down. But she was wearing a cowboy hat, screaming about the blood of Jesus.
Yep.
I genuinely, when I saw that, I just thought, I don't know that America can survive. I don't know that it can.
Yeah, it's always been teetering, you know?
Yeah, it has. And it's on the thinnest of ice at the minute, and it's sort of stomping around. It's very strange.
Yeah, it's pretty drunk, and it might fall over into a gutter somewhere.
Yeah, it's very annoying. Oh, this next bit's brilliant. Oh, fucking hell. Whenever I hear this word, I always think of a particular song.
Internal organs of the computer, but I did see 1900 a lot, too, at that military table after those were counted. So there was plenty of those. Yes, do you have something to say?
No, you have 1 minute remaining.
Oh, 1 minute? Okay. So let me just reiterate. Okay, some envelopes were opened and then stapled shut. Poll workers received select few would not allow me to see the first ballot. Yes. Okay. So long story short, since this is in Washington and since it is a little bit repetitious. I was not, the bottom line is I was not able to do my job because of harassment, and we had a parade of Black Lives Matter in rhinestones. I was told not to wear anything. In fact, I'm wearing what I wore today.
What? You were told not to wear anything?
And I did not see anything Trump, but I saw a lot of masks.
She was told not to wear anything?
Yeah, no,
I mean, it's November.
With it. Yeah, no, she just turned up lips out, so to speak. Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
BLM. Rhinestones. Don't forget the rhinestones. But
yeah, clearly you didn't. Look, that's not a crime.
Don't forget the rhinestones.
Don't forget, yes, or the Alamo. Don't forget the rhinestones.
Don't forget rhinestones, and don't forget Dre. So
yes,
those are the three things you mustn't.
You don't want to forget about.
Fucking hell, man. That's amazing. These fucking people. Oh, and then the use of a phrase that I can only imagine has not been used in the Michigan State Senate's Oversight Committee often.
Intimidation. There was the cock blocking of us being able to see the actual process.
There was the cock blocking.
The cock blocking. Not even cock blocking.
Was there
the cock blocking?
Yes. Was there also like the cock sword fighting that went along with the cock blocking?
There was the tip touching. There was a little bit of docking, and then a bit of tipping. You know, a bit of tipping. It's all good. Cock blocking, and not just that, but no one. I love the kind of the formality of it all because no one goes, whoa, what now? What? They just ignore it, and it never gets brought up. It's just there. It's just there forever in the official records of the minutes of that Senate committee. The word cock blocking.
First use of cock blocking in an oversight committee here.
Almost certainly. This next guy has a strong look to him. I'm calling him Dr. Robotnik.
Wait, but before we move on, did you think that maybe she doesn't really know what cock blocking is and she heard her nephew say it?
Probably. I imagine so, yes. I imagine that must be the case.
It's some sort of like cockfighting reference.
This guy is. I'm calling him Dr. Robotnik.
Oh my gosh! Wow, this guy's a real person.
From the Senate. He's from the Sonic the Hedgehog games. For those who know that character.
I can't believe that's a real person. I mean obviously it's an affectation, but it's just like so out of Sherlock Holmes.
It is.
Dr. Eggy. Oh my God, you're right. It is.
It's Dr. Robotnik from the.
It's.
From the Sonic games. Anyway, and he's normal. He's totally normal. Carries around a totally normal implement that one would take to an election count.
Well, you can always tell by the American flag pegans.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Right? So, I mean, there's always a reason for a problem.
So were you a poll challenger or what?
Or Wilfred Brimley, yeah. He does look a bit but definitely.
Yeah.
Sure, a worker? I don't remember, I'm sorry.
I'm a lifelong Republican.
Okay.
Until this election.
Okay. But did you have I just wondered if you had a title. You said you were at TCF.
I was an election challenger, yeah.
A challenger, okay.
Yeah. So, what I saw was disturbing. And I could see how people could be, you go in a very large room. It's really hot. I had a little thermometer with me to check my temperature through the course of the day. It's 85 degrees in there.
Why?
Who carries a fucking thermometer?
Why would you? What? It's not even
People
like
so
a body thermometer.
Weird. It's so strange.
Oh my God, we've broken Kevin. Kevin's broken himself.
American democracy has broken me. Look at these. Just look at him. Even if he never said a word, look at his weird glasses. He's got a tash like a walrus. He's so strange. He's so strange.
What's he wearing around? Is that headphones he's wearing around to match his tie?
Maybe,
or is that
earplugs or something? I don't know.
I don't know. Yeah, something.
But look at his weird little glasses. and he's carrying a fucking thermometer. Look, that's
He might have it on him right now.
That's almost certainly a lie, but it's such a strange thing to say. Who the fuck carries that? No, don't get me wrong. I respect any attempt at facial hair. I'm just saying it's a weird combination of things. There's more hair on his lip than there is on his fucking head, right? He's got tiny little glasses. He looks like Dr. Robotnik / Wilfred Brimley. He looks really weird and he carries a thermometer. Like, if you wrote that story, you'd say, oh, this is a bit hack.
Yeah,
this
a bit Poirot.
Silly.
It's a bit Agatha Christie, 1920s.
Yeah, people don't behave like that.
Mm-hmm.
These people aren't real, and yet there it is in front of you. Just
yep, there he is, a real person.
Breathtaking.
Voting and everything.
This again, Kristi. Do you want to read out what I've titled the next thing as?
Mustache guy / Obama destruction.
Yeah, that I think sums it up rather nicely.
Okay, this would be interesting. Oh, it's thermometer guy again?
No. Oh, no. We've got a different mustache guy.
Oh, mustache guy, not thermometer guy. Sorry, I mixed up what was so unique about him.
Oh, no. Well, a mustache guy, because it's so weird and reedy. You can barely see it. It looks like a wisp.
I recognize those from all over northern Wisconsin.
But he makes a point of sitting down and putting the freedom hat on the thing. I don't know why he did that. Does that show up on the screen? That is on the screen, yes. And he just starts ranting, and they've tried to backdate it and say like, oh, this system was obviously in place in 2016 and blah blah blah.
Yeah.
He takes it even further.
Okay, great.
Constitution. On Monday, November 23rd, 2020, I attended a Stop the Steal U.S. rally in Lansing, Michigan. Liberals expect us to respect the vote, as one of their signs said, as certified by corrupt government officials. 2 Democrats and 2 Republicans on the board of canvassers. 3-0 certified with 1 abstention, declaring Biden successful in this election. They should respect the truth. The truth is Biden and his co-conspirators, i.e. Michigan's executive branch, corrupt politicians, Governor Whitmer, Attorney General Nessel, and Secretary of State Benson definitely stole this election in 2020, and most likely in 2018 with Dominion ballot machines. I would also speculate the Democrats did the same in 2008 and 2012 for Obama's reign of destruction in America.
Obama's reign of destruction in America.
Yeah. And every time Democrats win, that's when they cheated. That's when there was fraud.
Yeah. Indeed.
Wow. Reign of destruction. You mean like the recovery from the economic recession and job growth again?
No.
And lower deficits?
Yeah, this is the last one I'm going to show you from this. I'm not even going to bother play because she doesn't say anything interesting. I just want to say she's wearing a Trump scarf.
She is.
She's wearing a Trump scarf. Yeah, I mean,
she is. All right, let's hear it.
No, well, she doesn't say anything interesting. There's literally
it's just a fashion statement.
It's just, she's wearing a Trump scarf. Like, I mean, what do you say to that? Where do you even go with that as a concept?
It is a thing in the world.
It is a thing. It exists. Yep. It needn't, and arguably shouldn't.
Not.
But it does.
It does.
Indeed.
So on to the next hearing.
So we move to the next day. This one is before. That one was before the Senate, the state Senate in Michigan. This is before the state House of Representatives Oversight Committee. Rudolph Giuliani, along with Jenna Ellis, who is also a lunatic. And interestingly, we commented on the fact that Rudy Giuliani hasn't actually had a court case before this year since 1992. He's crazy.
It's been a while. It's been a minute.
Been a while. It turns out that Jenna Ellis might be even less qualified. Where is she? Come on now.
Yes, I heard a bit about this.
Yeah, there we go. Jenna Ellis said that she was a former Colorado prosecutor and State Department attorney. In Colorado, she handled traffic cases. She isn't listed in the State Department payroll records and was listed in one 2013 case as a lawyer for a firm providing legal discovery help to the state. So
Can I tell you what I heard?
What did you hear?
She likes to style herself as a constitutional lawyer, and that's because she taught a con law class to undergraduates at a university without a law school.
Oh, for fuck's sake. Yeah, that's about right for the shoddiness that is the Donald Trump presidency.
Yep.
Yeah. No wonder they're losing a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Because, you know...
And they have misspellings, and they submit blank documents.
Yeah. Indeed. So, so they appeared, and... what's this? I don't even know what this is. I can't even remember. Shenanigans.
It's shenanigans.
Let's have a look. It could be very interesting.
Could be anything.
Yeah.
Mr. Chairman, Mr. Chairman, Mr. Chairman, Mr. Chairman. Yes, thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Hold on. Do you have a point of order?
Yes, I do, Mr. Chairman.
What's your point of order?
I would like to ask Mr. Giuliani to please stand and raise your right hand.
Not a point of order.
To please be sworn before this committee. Mr. Chairman.
Please stop.
Mr. Chairman.
It's out of order.
Mr. Chairman.
This is Mr. Darren Camilleri, Representative Darren Camilleri, who is... I'll be honest, I will kiss and suck any part of this man's body.
He's being trying to make a point here.
It's all shenanigans. Because the thing is, they're making obviously incredible legal claims, and they're not under oath.
Yeah.
Which is wrong.
And makes it worthless.
And they can't interrupt them and ask questions about things as they go along. They're allowed one question. So they're allowed like 15, 20, 30 minutes to just ramble off incredible claims of illegality. And
with no proof.
And then each representative gets one question. It's a joke. This was a farce. So they're making, if you want to make a farce, let's do it.
It is.
You have a point of order.
Yes, I do, Mr. Chairman.
What's your point of order?
Under the law, I have the right before this committee as a representative to swear any witness before this committee to uphold the law.
Ooh.
That is my right. It's my right as a representative.
Let's continue.
Mr. Chair, I appeal the rule of the chair, and I'd like to ask the committee to please take a vote on this ruling, because it is my right as a representative to make sure that anybody before this committee is truthful, and we have the right as members to swear anybody.
All right, then let's call the roll.
Point of order, Mr. Chairman. Point of order, Mr. Chairman. A motion to swear a witness in requires a vote of this.
The black woman who's filming is C.A. Johnson from Detroit, Representative C.A. Johnson, who's also a badass. I just wanted to point her out. She's awesome.
Committee.
Keep an eye out for her, okay.
No, it does not.
All right, we're going to,
And the reason I did designate C.A. Johnson, because there's also Steve Johnson, who pops up later, who is a Republican. And it's interesting, though, because he actually asks like a proper question. Anyway.
All right, we're going to go with these.
Anyway, they vote on it, and the Republicans all vote to not swear him in. So,
yeah.
But he does this. Camilleri does this for every single person who steps up. By the way, he says, "I want a point of order. Can we swear this fucker in?" And the chair says, "No." And he says, "Okay, I just want it minuted that we're not swearing these people in." Whatever.
Yeah. He's using the rules of order in his favor.
Exactly. Yeah. You want to play silly bollocks? I will absolutely.
Yeah.
Play
Well,
silly
it's
bollocks.
politics. Yeah, it's politics. Before we get too far away from the previous hearing, I wanted to comment on some of the issues raised, because I think outside of the context of these false allegations, there are some interesting questions to be asked about internet security and the kinds of machines that are using, and having paper ballots as backups. And that conversation is good and important, because I think that keeping up with digital security, if you're going to have machines that are capable of going on the internet, is important. But that was not the right discussion. That was not the right hearing or the right testimony for these issues, because we didn't get anything good to reform in terms of policy moving forward, really.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, no, these are jokes. I think even the Republicans know there's no fucking evidence, because these have taken hearings from actual experts and people who were there running the thing, and they know that the allegations being made by Giuliani and his people are bollocks. But they just go through the motions, because if they don't, their Republican voters will turn against them.
It made me realize the difference between like a court where you have an opportunity to respond, and here I really wish they almost would have had somebody on call from the Detroit elections office to discuss what was being alleged, because if you turned into this, all you heard was bullshit, and you heard really no counter evidence from people who were there, and no one who was not having a problem turned up to the hearing, as far as I saw, which is also unfortunate but understandable. So just wanted to comment on that.
Yeah. But Camilleri calls Giuliani out later on all of this anyway. He says, "Why don't you make these allegations in court?"
Because he can't.
Yeah. And I just said, but to every one of the people who comes forward, he also does this. I don't know if I've got them necessarily highlighted because I was partly doing these with the cringe compilation in mind.
Oh, sure,
and
sure.
Motions of like order or whatever aren't necessarily enormously entertaining. So but he was basically he recites from like he'll say, Judge such and such who heard your affidavit in Arizona or whatever.
Yeah.
Said that you were not a credible witness and struck your affidavit from the record. So why should we listen to you? Yeah. Literally, he would just call them all out. He's a badass. Yeah,
That's
he's got some serious swag about him. Anyway. So, Rudy makes an obviously ridiculous claim, which I will highlight here.
Okay.
They have the power of evidence because they're sworn under oath. These are the things on which you bring indictments, and they allege massive cheating, particularly on the part of the Democrat Party of Detroit, to the extent of
it's a party now.
Easily 500,000, 600,000, 700,000 illegal votes.
That's interesting. Okay. So in the city of Detroit, Rudy Giuliani thinks that 500,000, 600,000, or 700,000 votes could have been
between
stolen.
500,000 and 750,000 votes. Yeah.
In total, there were 256,000 votes cast in Detroit.
Well, you see, if they would have not done the fraud, there would have been 1 million, and it would have gone for Trump.
More people than exist in the city. Yeah, brilliant, brilliant. Well done, Rudolph. You absolute lying piece of garbage.
Maths fail.
Not the first or last lie he told in this testimony. Unsurprising. Anyway, I've then got. Rudy tries to get her to take a mask off. It doesn't really matter though. And then I've got called Gavel-a-Palooza.
Oh right. Oh, fun.
Yeah.
It's like Adam Schiff again, gaveling down Nunes or Jim Jordan.
Oh, Jim Jordan. Oh God, I hope he gets cancer.
The
in
jacketless.
Minecraft.
I would say around 100 ballots maybe I spoiled.
Oh yeah, for some reason they've got 2 Indian immigrants. I don't know if that's intentional for like, you can't attack us for being racialists.
Yeah.
Or whether they just have they're able to bribe 2 Indians.
I may be wrong, but I don't know exact number.
When I say Indians, I don't mean Native American First Nations. I mean they were
actual people from
this Indian subcontinent.
Or Indian Americans.
Well, yeah, but specifically not of descent. They immigrated from India to America. And I believe certainly these 2 were American citizens. I believe the other one is an American citizen as well. But yeah, they are. Yeah, these 2 are man and wife, so to speak.
Okay.
A husband and wife, and immigrated in the 80s and became citizens in the 90s. Yeah. Anyway, and she's got the really un-Indian sounding name of Jessie Jacobs.
That's super not Indian sounding.
No,
that sounds so anglicized.
Yeah, I think. I think they want to fit in. So she does actually say her name because she gets asked, and I'm not even going to try and pronounce it. Yeah. So there you go.
Western people suck at non-Western names. I know I do.
Well, someone, the homophobic Hungarian MP that got caught in the orgy, the orgy the other day. Someone, I know I couldn't pronounce his surname. I did an amazing Hungarian person in the chat left a really detailed comment in fantastic English explaining how to pronounce the guy's name. So I was like, that's really nice, thank you. I mean, I don't know what to do with that, but thank you.
Now you know.
And you've got better English than I have. Thank you.
But
you think it's 100?
I can go back to my...
Sorry, Jesse, do you think it's 100 or 32,000?
I mean, for the end, there are 23 satellite sites, okay? Some satellite sites are...
Look at Rudy's face there.
Yeah, he's trying to hold the farts in.
Yeah, exactly.
People, depending
he's squeezing
on the
those
area.
cheeks tight.
So, yeah, you can say around 30,000, about 25,000 to 30,000 maybe.
It's clapping tunes.
And in any event, those would be...
Please, you're out of order, members. You're out of order. Representative LeGrand, you're out of order. Let them continue. Representatives, you're out of order. Please continue.
Oh, right. This is the gavel.
Those would be whatever they are.
Yeah, because Rudy Giuliani is just allowed to spout shit, and they're never allowed to go, whoa. Why are you putting 32,000 in this woman's mouth?
Yep, exactly.
Anyway, so this was a
We all
complete.
saw it.
This is a complete sham, kangaroo court nonsense. 134.50. I've just got this down as burn.
Okay.
You're not aware of that, man?
Oh my god.
Vote without ID. You said that about, and I'm reading from my notes here, so if I get this wrong, again, feel free to correct me. But if I understand your testimony, you're saying that about 14 days before the election, your supervisor, Carla, told you that people could vote without ID. And you said that for your peace of mind, you insisted that people provide ID. Are you aware that people in Michigan can vote without identification? In fact, I've always voted that way. You're not aware of that, ma'am?
Members of the audience,
Wow.
please, let's be respectful. Thank you.
Ma'am, are you aware of that, ma'am?
She's interfering with people's
0
ability
to
to vote.
14
Is what
days.
she just
0
admitted.
to 14 days. That is the restricted registration time. You have to have the ID and also the proof of residency. And if you don't have the driver's license, you have to submit an affidavit, and also you have to have a passport or something, photo ID. That's my understanding.
Okay, you're confused. Thank you.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's that's important. Yeah.
That's the
I can't believe
standard of Rudy's fucking evidence here.
Yeah. I mean, if you won't let people vote without an ID and they are allowed to, I mean, they probably won't prosecute her for anything.
Yeah.
But that could be. I mean, I'm not an attorney, but that would seem to me to be voter interference.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Look, because your peace of mind means fuck all.
Mm-hmm.
You're there to implement law, and if the law says you don't need photo ID, you can't insist on photo ID.
Yeah.
Simple.
Yes.
Kenny has ruled that your testimony in court. You've asked a lot of
Okay, Representative, please tell us your question.
Very misleading.
You've asked a lot of.
Question for the witness, Ms. Jacob, please ask it. If you don't, then.
Oh, hang on. You asked something about Rudy Giuliani.
Representative Camilleri, please proceed with your question.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Mr. Giuliani, before you began.
I'm going to gavel this. The question is for the witness. As I told you at the end, you're able to ask a question to Mr.
See, this is a kangaroo court. Giuliani can pipe up whenever he likes, but you can't ask a question till the end.
Yeah.
So 4 hours later, you're allowed to bring him back to a question. Like, shut up, man.
Yeah, this is ridiculous. This is you're right. Kangaroo testimony, basically, a kangaroo hearing.
Well, exactly. Not even a kangaroo court because they're not even sworn in. So it's not even a kangaroo court. Brilliant.
No. It's
We
basically PR at the
three people actually before our panel today. Each of them is before our panel, and I know that you gave your power away to Mr. Giuliani to ask questions during this testimony.
You made yourself a bitch to Giuliani, you fool.
Oh wow, yeah. I mean, no lies detected in that statement. Yeah. You just got to take that one on the chin.
That is a legislative fucking bitch slap right there.
Yes, yeah.
That's fine, but it is now my right as a representative to ask a question of the people before our committee. This is not forced. This is not
out of order.
This is not forced landscaping. This is a committee of the state legislature. I should have a right to ask a question of who is before us.
I will allow you to ask a question at the end of Mr. Giuliani, as I stated at the beginning. If you have a question for the witness, Ms. Jacob, please ask it. If you don't, then I'm going to move on.
Ms. Jacobs, I know that you've given testimony previously. We've heard your story in the media. I know that you gave testimony yesterday as well. Judge Kenny in Wayne County Circuit Court.
May I ask?
Did not give testimony yesterday.
I apologize.
Okay, Representative, please tell us your question.
Technically, it wasn't testimony, but she did appear in yesterday's hearing. So again, they're kind of lying.
Oh, okay.
Technically, it's not testimony because again, they weren't under oath, but. Although one guy did insist on swearing himself in. Like, he didn't have a Bible with him or anything to, do that.
You can just do that.
But he just
went,
affirm. Are you under oath, blah, blah, blah. And everyone was like, you don't need to do that. That's fine.
Very misleading.
You've asked a lot of misleading questions yourself, Mr. Giuliani.
Representative Camilleri, please, what is your question?
My question, Ms. Jacobs, is Judge Kenny has ruled that your testimony in court is incorrect and not credible. So why should we believe anything that you said here today?
I'm not aware of any such ruling. She's never been a witness in court. It would have been impossible for a judge to...
No, you lying bastard. Her affidavit was put before a court in Detroit, and the judge said, this is not credible. I can't take this as evidence.
Yep. It's probably in that big binder you just put on the table.
You don't have to appear in court to be cited as a witness in court. Obviously. That's what affidavits are for. So that you don't have a room full of 1 million people saying, yeah, I was there.
Yeah. Oh, people in the chat, sorry, are asking about his hair dye. He looks a little grayer in his press conference.
Well, Stick, Sex and Hammer would never lie or make up shit. So clearly, it's, again, part of the 4D chess. Some days the 4D chess is to have runny hair dye, some days not. That's how he gets inside your head.
Mix it up.
Switches up the script, you know?
Your affidavit was ruled
May I please finish?
Incorrect and not credible.
May I have the courtesy of finishing?
Why are you allowed to answer questions that aren't asked to you?
Yep.
This is such a joke of a fucking committee. Sorry, this is embarrassing.
She has never been a witness in court, so no judge could ever have assessed her credibility.
What is your question, Mr. Camilleri?
Why are we listening to your story here today if it has already been ruled incorrect and not credible by a judge in court?
It has not been ruled.
It has.
It has. This is not a courtroom. This is a committee. Why do you keep objecting to what I'm saying here?
Representative, is there an answer to that?
Okay, you can go and ask the judge who denied that, okay? I don't know anything about it.
Okay.
So, Camilleri is...
objection.
Another great Camilleri question. I can't remember what the fuck it was, but anyway. Oh, this woman. Oh, my God. Where'd you even begin?
Oh, we're just going to play this whole thing?
We can do, but she just lies for like 10 minutes. Do you want to play the whole thing? I don't mind. But it's quite long. It goes on for like 10 minutes or something.
Okay, do the highlights then.
Okay. Well, I've got 204, which is Camilleri questioning her.
Representative Camilleri.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, and thank you for your testimony. Going back to the ruling from Judge Timothy Kenny, he writes that your description of the events at the TCF Center does not square with any other affidavits. Yeah. He says that there are... excuse me, I'm speaking.
Please,
thank you.
Let's let the representative finish, and then you can...
He writes that there are no other reports of lost data or tabulating machines that jammed repeatedly every hour during the count. He also writes that neither Republican nor Democratic challengers nor city officials substantiate your version of these events. The allegations simply are not credible, is what Judge Kenny writes. So my question for you is, you're making claims here today that there's systematic fraud in what's going on in our elections. Are the courts also tied up in that fraud?
Let me tell you what I did by accident, okay? I gave Channel 7 an interview that they tied in to that and made me the witness that's uncredible. Guess what? There's going to be a couple behind me that are going to say the same thing I just said.
They don't.
I'm going to say the same thing that I just said.
Yeah,
I promise you.
Is a lunatic. But there's a better angle.
A little bit tipsy.
She is. Yeah. I think she's definitely drunk. Right. This is amazing, right? She is speaking here to a guy called Steve Johnson. If I scroll forward, we'll see him. There, right? Steve Johnson.
Yeah. Okay. This is going to be an SNL skit.
It is. It's like an SNL opener, but funny.
Ooh, I mean, you're not wrong.
Solid burn there.
Solid burn.
Very welcome. Where's the... Hang on. Where's the screenshot of the thing? I definitely did download it.
Specific.
So no, I'm looking for it. Sorry, I'll have to go onto my fucking email. Because I screenshotted a specific thing. It's worth definitely bringing up with everyone. Because she basically accuses him. He's a Republican. And she accuses him of interfering with the voter rolls in order to fuck over Donald Trump. Which is genuinely fascinating. Because...
They're so hostile, these people.
They really are. There we go. Right. Okay. Get that on the screen.
Get it on the screen, yeah!
Hang on.
Okay.
Now I need to do a screen sharey thing, don't I? Right, hang on.
I don't know why I'm doing little jingles, but...
You don't... Well, exactly. Anyway, the basic
space.
point is, he was endorsed by Donald Trump. That's Steve Johnson, for state representative, endorsed by Donald fucking Trump, okay? So even a person who is literally endorsed by Donald Trump is now part of the deep state conspiracy against Donald
Barr
Trump.
is. I mean, if they got to Barr...
Well, exactly. Well, that's... I mean, Soros has ways of making you believe things that are obviously not, real. Anyway, so this is incredible. This is incredible. Steve Johnson asks just a straightforward question about why don't the voter roll numbers... why are they not off by the hundreds of thousands you claim?
Yes.
And her response, I think, sums up the degradation of American democracy.
Book is completely off. The poll book is completely off. Completely off.
Off by 30,000?
I'd say that poll book is off by over 100,000. That poll book. Why don't you look at the registered voters on there? How many registered voters are on there? Do you even know the answer to that?
No, I guess I'm trying to get to the bottom.
Zero.
It's like
there's zero.
Sargon.
So, my question then is if the...
Guess how many... Wait, what about the turnout rate?
Look,
100...
Rudy's literally reaching over to be like, shut the fuck up. When you're too mental for Rudy Giuliani, and he has to try and shush... He tries to shush her about... it must be 10 times during the whole thing.
And 20%?
Let's let Representative Johnson ask his question, please.
So the poll book number... There's two things that could happen here. Either the poll book number, if ballots were counted multiple times, there's two options. Option number one is that the poll book numbers are not going to match.
They don't.
The actual. Not by thousands and thousands of votes. That's not what we see right now.
Take a look again. Take a look again.
Option number two is that they essentially were filling in names of people who didn't vote.
Dead people, too?
So is that...
Let's let Representative Johnson ask his question, and then when he's done...
I thought that was his answer. Okay.
Well, I guess that's my question is why we're not seeing the poll book off by 30,000 votes. That's not the case.
What did you guys do? Take it and do something crazy to it?
Look at that face. Oh, my God.
I mean, you can just do this as an SNL skit.
Yeah.
You don't even have to, write dialogue.
Yeah, well, when Tina Fey just read out word for word what
yes,
what Sarah Palin said.
Sarah Palin, yeah.
They can, they just do this.
Mm-hmm.
It's just, what did you do? Take it and do something crazy with it. He's a Trump guy. What are you talking about?
I'm just saying the numbers are not off by 30,000 votes. So
I know what I
saying
saw.
That they're filling in?
I know what I saw, and I signed something saying that if I'm wrong, I can go to prison. Okay. Did you?
Okay,
Jesus Christ. This is mental.
She's so aggressive. She's so aggressive.
I think
just trying to
let
me a
Twitter
fight
here.
Yeah, let's let Representative Johnson ask his question, and then don't interrupt him. And then if you want to respond to it, that's fine. And did you have more, Representative?
Yeah, I guess I just want to keep following back up with the poll book. So are we saying that the poll book is either wildly off or that they are filling in names?
It's wildly off, and dead people voted, and illegals voted.
Okay.
So that's my answer.
I think
illegals vote. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, this is why we started talking about undocumented workers.
Okay, Bish, calm yourself. Anyway, there was a funny skit. I saw someone do. Where is the thing?
Oh, okay.
So I just wanted to play it just as a juxtaposition to what you just saw.
Oh, okay. Good.
Tell me why I haven't met everyone who's voting. How do you justify the turnout rate then? $1 million? Sounds a little high to me. If all the votes were counted, then how come I didn't vote? There's so many, you telling me dead people voted? You telling me my dad voted? My dad can't vote because he's dead. Or at least that's how we used to run things. Let me ask you a question. How many fingers am I holding up? No, too late. The answer is 0. Why don't you take a look at the registered voters on the book? Why don't you see who the author is? Well, I'll tell you what, look at the book again. Because I drew a little penis in it. I'll tell you why the poll book numbers don't match, because you did something funny with it. I know what you guys do. You take a book in the hot tub, and you're like, well, let's read it in the hot tub. Then it's soaked. Look, we've all done it. The difference is, I'm not the president. Not yet. I don't know about you, but I signed a little paper that said I wanted to go to prison. I'm drinking Baileys. It's Christmas. Riddle me this. If a man were drinking Baileys, would I give him? Rudy, let's kiss. Tell me why I haven't met
That's so good.
Yeah.
So good.
So that's she's she's interesting.
Famous now. Yeah, she's internet famous now.
She's interesting. 207.25. Where's that? Oh yeah, she's
getting close.
She lies.
Oh, you can see. Wait! Before you move it, look at Rudy's face. He's squeezing and farted again.
Yeah. He's got an expressive face, old Rude.
No poker face there when he's squeezing a fart.
Friends, I've been threatened. My kids have been threatened. I've had to move. I've had to change my phone number. I've had to get rid of social media.
As illuminating as that little phrase was, it turns out she definitely lied about the social media. I can't speak to the rest. Hang on, that's fuck's sake. Twitter allow us to fucking do the thing. Anyway, where is she? I mean, you've seen all of my bookmarks now, but yeah, there we go. That was her. That was her social media that she updated with the picture that was taken on that day, because that was the first time they'd ever met. So
she's off social media though.
So she's definitely off social media, everyone. So you can definitely trust everything else she says.
Yeah.
Along with the fact, of course, that where are we? You can definitely trust what she says because where are you, you bastard? This is her under her previous name. She's only just gotten off probation for the charge of using a computer to commit a crime.
Oh, nice. Okay, so internet fraud.
Yeah, she took a plea deal and was given probation time, which she literally just ended on the 13th of the 9th of this year.
Was she trying to commit voter fraud?
I don't know. I don't know, but she certainly has a very significant issue with truth and stuff. You know, just a thought for you there, everybody. Anyway. We've then got.
I guess if anyone wants to go back in my criminal record, you'll find that parking fine I paid in like the 90s for rolling through a stop sign once.
Well, yeah, but
no, it wasn't even. I got cited for not wearing a seatbelt.
Well, but there's something slightly different between obvious, like computer-based illegality and speeding.
Oh, I'm just saying, I'm kind of when I was doxxed, I'm just surprised that someone didn't pull up. Oh my gosh, she once didn't wear a seatbelt. Maybe it's not online. Oh well, it's out there now. I put it out there. My criminal.
Or maybe
record.
Someone found it and went, "Oh, it's not wearing a seatbelt. Who gives a fuck?"
Yeah.
Anyway, so this is this woman's quite something. She's she's the second of the Indian. Well, actually, technically third, but the second lot of Indian immigrants that they bring forward to the thing for some reason.
Okay.
And
it's a pretty hardcore, like Indian American Republican community in Detroit, huh?
Well, clearly so. Or there are 3 of them, and they brought all 3. I don't know, but even so, she obviously is pandering to the right wing because she keeps going on about how the poll watchers who were white men were being discriminated against. Of course.
Oh, really? This would be amazing. Yeah. I want to hear this.
Yeah.
And then start our life here. It takes a lot of courage. So we do have courage. And especially I For me to do this, it's really scary. It was very scary because I am a very private person. I have no social media accounts. I just like to live a very private life. But I knew what was at stake from what I witnessed at TCF, and my heart broke because I had a lot of respect. I still have a lot of respect for this country, and I don't believe in racism as like the mainstream media narrative.
She doesn't believe in racism. Note that for a second. No, just keep that in your brains for the next clip I'm going to show you.
This country has given me a lot, and I'm very thankful for it. So today when I'm doing this, it's not because I'm trying to say who's good or who's bad. I'm just saying that this needs to be fixed. In a country like India, we have a national identification card without which we cannot vote. When we come into this country, we have a retina scan, we have fingerprints, everything when we are entering into this country through a border. How is that a vote, which is the single most important thing any person can do, is actually being cast without an ID, without any kind of oversight, and those ballots getting duplicated without an oversight, and all of this fraud that was happening? It was heartbreaking. So that's why I decided to put myself here. Another thing that I noticed is that there were Democratic challengers there. I don't even call them challengers. They were agitators. They were only there with one purpose. When GOP people or nonpartisan people signed up, we were only trying to ensure that there was integrity. Whereas when Democratic challengers signed up, their only purpose there was to intimidate the GOP people and get them out. So that was what was happening on the 4th when I got on the floor. I didn't have my GOP tag on, so automatically I was assumed to be a Democrat. And I have seen some women who came to me and said, let's get these MFs out. And she was singing that song. And for me, I don't listen to secular music, and these days you can't even tell what is cussing and what is a song. So I thought maybe she was really singing a song. But then when I saw that she was targeting white male Republicans, accusing them of something like your mask slipped, you were not 6 feet away, so you need to go out, and your phone was out, and they were really intimidating all these white people.
You mean enforcing the rules?
They were intimidating the white people.
By making them comply with social distancing, not recording anything.
Do you think she may be coached by Republicans to make Republicans feel better?
Well, I don't know if she's coached. I will say that I think her worldview very much lies or maps onto the other kind of conspiracy, white male grievance politics. Yeah. That is what the Republican Party is all about.
Indeed. But you noted she said she didn't believe in racism.
Right. Also, she doesn't know what's cuss words now in songs.
Yeah, which is certainly interesting. But she specifically said, I don't believe in racism. Get ready for one of the most obviously racist things ever. And note that Rudy Giuliani laughs at this.
Okay.
Things that we should look at in terms of how do we prevent some of these things from happening to people like you again in the future. Have you put any thought into that? Like if you were to see new laws or things that need to be looked at in terms of preventing in the next election some of these things from happening at the TCF Center?
I would give you my perspective as being an outsider. Mm-hmm. I come from a country where a lot of things go wrong. Our countries are known for corruption. But when it comes to elections, there is, from what I've seen here to what we used to do back in India, it is a lot more organized now because we have an identification system. And the fact that now, as the other representative said, that you can actually show up and vote without an ID, it's shocking. Mm-hmm. How can you allow that to happen? Like, a lot of people think all Indians look alike. I think all Chinese look alike. So how would you tell?
What?
If some Chow shows up,
Rudy's laughing
you can be anybody and you can vote. And if
what?
Yeah, she says all Chinese people look alike. Now, couple of points. Firstly, fuck you. That's just disgusting. Secondly, let's just take her hypothesis. All Chinese people look exactly the same. How would requiring photo identification fucking differentiate them then, you dozy fuck? They all look alike, apparently, so having a photo ID, they're all going to look the same. You could use your mum's photo ID, because you look exactly the same as her, because all the Chinese
by her logic.
look alike.
Yeah.
Like,
by her reasoning, shall we
say? What are you talking about? It's so obviously racist, and even Giuliani. Like, I don't know if Giuliani's laughing at that because he thought, ha ha ha, racism's funny, or I can't believe she just said that.
Yeah.
I genuinely cannot believe she just fucking said that. And obviously, white woman in the background laughing.
Yeah, finds
that's hilarious. Yeah.
One next to the wall,
the Chinese do look like that. Yeah, the Chinese do look like that. But she doesn't believe in racism. Just that all Chinese people look exactly the same.
Great. Great witnesses.
Vuvuzela gets a mention, but that's for later. Well, that's for possibly for the cringe compilation, maybe. I don't know. Then we've got Gavel again.
Oh, gavel off. All right. Bring it.
And look, they're just allowed to talk for vast swathes of time. It's ridiculous.
I just want to understand. I mean, as a canvasser, what do you say to the elections people when they tell you this year again, the ballot boxes are unsealed, the ballots don't add up? What do you say to them? Because I can't figure it out. Why is it always that way? What do you say to them to improve that? Please, please, please. Please, sir. Please, sir. Please, sir. Please, sir. Please, sir.
Yeah, he's listening to the gavel.
So my question, though, is on Wayne County and the city of Detroit, I mean, do you hear from them to say what are they going to do?
Anyway, he got kicked out, unsurprisingly.
Yeah,
Cam drops the boom. Okay.
What?
Camilleri and his best friend. Anyway, so they finally get around to talking to Rudy. And,
if your political party had not...
Given that there were only 250,000 counted.
Oh, yeah.
We're having a legislative hearing here. So, I've said all members of this committee, if they wish, can ask a question. I hope we're respectful about that. So, with that, I'll allow Representative LeGrand.
So, Mr. Giuliani, I really just have one question for you. We heard testimony tonight that you got an affidavit from one of these witnesses on November 8, witness who talked about tens of thousands of ballots being riffed through a machine. We had another witness who talked about ballots being double counted, who said that her affidavit dates back to November 3rd. You opened your statement, you made, in your opening statement, you referenced 700,000 fraudulent ballots in Detroit, which is problematic given that there were only 250,000 counted. My question is, given that we have paper ballots in Michigan, why on earth did you not ask for a recount?
Well, there'd be no reason to ask for a recount because you just recount the same fraudulent ballots.
Yeah, but your claim is that there are 700,000 fake ballots in a city with 250,000 votes. You're lying. You're lying, Rudolph.
It seems like they want to say there's fraud at every point of this election, and yet they can't point to any.
Yeah, certainly not in a courtroom, no.
For the sweeping claims that you are making action which run elections in Michigan for their tireless effort and commitment to free, fair, and safe elections. Your team has now lost 39 court cases in the aftermath of the election with judges ruling that there is inadequate evidence to support the sweeping claims that you are making and repeating here tonight and the unprecedented relief that you are seeking. Yesterday, we learned that U.S. Attorney General William Barr has similarly found no evidence whatsoever of widespread irregularities that are worth investigating. If our local clerks, state and federal judges across the country, and the highest-ranking law enforcement official in the United States cannot find any substance to or any merit in any of your arguments, why should we? Why should we sit here in the show that you are partaking in and taking around the country if no one has found any evidence whatsoever of any of your wrongdoing? And why should we not believe the reported attempts of you to try to seek a pardon from the president?
He brought the hammer, and then he threw the chair on top of him.
Yeah.
Fucking hell.
Yeah, and Rudy's indignation is so funny. Please, seriously, if you can get me Rudy's tears, I will pay any.
What was the last part?
That last part is not.
You're attempting to seek a pardon, so why is this not part of that?
I will ask that he be disciplined for that. First of all,
hold on.
First of all, what he said is untrue.
fight, 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 fight. They should just let him duke it out. That would be amazing.
You got the
hockey
fart there.
style. What the fuck did you say, you little bitch? You're fighting, and then you get 5 minutes to calm down. It's fine.
You're so excited about the fight, you forgot about the fart.
I know you had... Oh, did he... Hang on.
He farted that part, yeah.
15:30. He was the first of the farts. Apologies. Sorry.
Yeah.
Found any evidence whatsoever of any of your wrongdoing, and why should we not believe the reported attempts of you to try to seek a pardon from the president?
What was the last part?
That last part is not.
You're attempting to seek a pardon, so why is this not part of that?
I will ask that he be disciplined for that. First of all,
here it is.
Yeah.
Little fart, but notice the second one is even better. Hang on, I've got a clip of the wider angled shot of him farting because you get to...
Go to mine. Go to mine because then you get the compilation.
Oh, okay. Did you hook me into the thing?
Yeah, I just put Kevin Logan.
Did you?
Go to the top.
See it anywhere. No.
I thought I did.
Nope.
Damn it. Let me go back to my Twitter. I'll do it right now.
Okay. But anyway, there's a wider angle shot for the second fart. Jenna Ellis hears it. She might even feel it through the fucking floor, I don't know. And she gives him the nastiest side eye. Like,
yeah,
what the
she does.
Because she knows she can't get up and leave. That's going to register. Definitely. There's no way her nasal passages will remain unmolested by that fart. Not a chance.
Huh.
Do we...
I tagged you into it.
Oh, I'll find you. Fuck it. There we go.
It's in my media.
Okay. That's John C. Reilly. So there we go.
Yeah, we'll come to that. No, that's the movie trailer. Keep going down. We'll come to that later. This one.
Oh, okay. All right. So this is Rudy Giuliani farting.
Yeah, maybe 3 times. You need to jack up the sound. Yeah.
Your team has now lost 39 court cases in the aftermath of the election, with judges ruling that there is inadequate evidence.
Oh, maybe one there.
I will ask that he be disciplined for that. First of all, the answer that I gave you is they didn't bother to interview a single witness.
Look at that Look at that face. She fucking heard it. She absolutely heard that. Look, go back. Look at her face.
Gave you is they didn't bother to interview a single witness.
Straight away. She fucking definitely. She knows.
Her face inspired the punctuation I chose.
Yeah, look at that. She's you dirty old bastard.
That's like outrage.
You dirty old fucking bastard. Not only do you touch up 15-year-olds or touch yourself in front of 15-year-olds or whatever, you literally just shat yourself. The fuck is wrong with you? Anyway, so yeah, Rudy Giuliani farting.
That's what I do with my editing skills, people. That and I make movie trailers now, apparently.
That
and the movies we're gonna do.
And you do screenshots of ever-increasing elephant...
Foreskin?
Elephant penis aperture.
No, I don't.
No, you did for the Freddy Got Fingered.
Oh, yes, I did. Yeah, I timed it perfectly in order to see the aperture before.
Yeah, it's penis aperture, just gradually like an eye being exposed to light.
Yes. Yes.
Anyway, so Rudy Giuliani, let's hear his faux indignation.
First of all,
hold on.
First of all, what he said is untrue. Second, that is a defamation of my professional character.
Unlike the entire city of Detroit's election committee, who you have been defaming for the last month,
and Democrats,
and all of the Democrats,
yeah.
Do you allow that? Do you allow that to happen in your legislature?
No. As I said,
even he's calling the fucking chair a bitch.
Yeah. Nice.
As I said, Representative, let's keep it limited to the germane issue here. So, Mr. Giuliani, let me ask
the record. We haven't lost 39 cases. We've only brought 3.
That's a complete fucking lie. It's a lie based on legalese, which is not surprising given he's certainly an ex-lawyer. Let's not pretend he's active in any real sense, or knows what the law is, seemingly. Yeah, they've technically the Donald J. Trump for President Inc. have only brought 3 lawsuits. Because most of the lawsuits are, pick a random set of names, whoever they are, like John Davidson and Philippa Brown and blah, 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 versus, and then like the Secretary of State for whatever state it is, and the governor and the Board of Election canvassers or whatever, right? So technically, Donald John Trump for President Inc. have not brought the case. So he can say, we didn't bring the case. But they're providing the lawyers for them. They're providing legal advice for them. They're literally providing the same affidavits that they're using in the Donald J. Trump for President
Yeah, all of the
cases.
evidence.
So they are your cases, Rudy. You're losing them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Very simple. Rudy Giuliani is a liar.
Surprise, surprise.
Yeah.
So you're wrong about that. Second, the reason why people are reaching those conclusions is because, like you, they don't have the discipline, maybe the intelligence, I don't know, to read through this, and to read 20 more like it.
No, but Rudy, you could have put those affidavits before the court in Philly.
Yeah.
You
and a lot of them have been rejected.
Yeah,
as
exactly,
the representative or senator pointed out.
You can't... Representative, yes. You can't ask a judge to look at these affidavits when you're not even claiming fraud.
Yes.
You're not even doing that in a court. You're just a liar.
Look, if I were an attorney and I had a case of voter fraud, I would first explain or help the witness explain what the law was in the state, and then what they witnessed, and how what they witnessed violated the law and what section of the law, right? And where on the tape, at what timestamp can you see this happening? Yeah. But that they just talk about their feels.
Yeah.
You can't tell me there's no evidence when I have a couple of thousand affidavits from people. You can't tell me that your credibility is better than the credibility of those people.
See, he's just a showman. He's just that's all he's doing now. This is like wrestling. This is the legal equivalent of wrestling.
Political.
Yeah, or the political equivalent. Yeah, it's just showmanship. There's no actual wrestling taking place here. It's just theatrical.
Yeah.
This is political ballet.
Given that Michigan was carried by Biden with over 81,000 votes, even if he had 1,000 votes that had technical problems or whatever else, that wouldn't be enough to overturn the results.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No. This is obviously just. Well, it's bullshit so that he can grift, or Trump can grift money out of his supporters. It's grift for Giuliani because even though he's obviously not fit to be a lawyer, fucking traffic park instant, he's parking fine instant. He's being paid $20,000 a day by the Trump campaign. This is nonsense. This is absolute nonsense. But then he makes a rather interesting claim about our old friend Hugo Chavez.
Oh, great. Before you hit play, though, it would be interesting. I looked a little bit at the Stimson case where there was voter fraud and enough to swing the election.
In Pennsylvania, yes.
Yeah, and I hadn't gone through it in depth, but that might be something to look at as a comparison of a successful case when what evidence was required for them to demonstrate the law was broken and how and by whom.
Yeah. Okay. Definitely. Yes, so it appears that Rudy Giuliani has imbibed the same crack that Sidney Powell has, because he now apparently believes that the ghost of Hugo Chavez is capable of holding meetings.
And I have no idea what a recanvassing of the machines would do for us. A forensic examination of the machines might do something, and in fact, we would like to have the opportunity to look at the rest of those machines in Michigan. I don't know why you're not looking at them. I mean, whatever you want to say about Dominion, read its history. Read the history of Dominion, and you'll get an idea of what a crooked company it is, which maybe is the reason they don't want to show up here. They really don't want to tell you that the two of them that own it are Venezuelans, and they brought the two Smartmatic owners, they brought the two guys who are Canadians down to meet Chavez just 2 years ago.
That's interesting.
2 years ago?
They brought two Canadians to meet Hugo Chavez 2 years ago. Should we take a look on? Let's take a look. Hugo Chavez.
So it was 2018. He said
2018. But that's interesting because it would appear that Hugo Chavez died in 2013. Just there we go. He died in the 5th of March, 2013.
Very active still.
Very active. But still, 5 years after his death, able to hold high-level international meetings with Canadians. So,
2 years ago.
Clearly, the ghost of Hugo Chavez is one of the finest political operators of his generation. That ghost. That is fine. That is fine political poltergeisting from Chavez.
Yes.
Well done. So I think Rudy Giuliani might be a liar.
Maybe.
Don't know about you guys. Maybe. Don't know about you. Anyway, so I'm going to be putting some of that together as a cringe comp.
Yeah. Oh, would this be a good time to do the trailer?
For?
The show tomorrow night, before we go over to Sargon.
Oh, yeah, if you want to, yeah.
Yeah, if you want to go back to Twitter and my media.
Yeah. Hang on, where are we?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, I tagged you into that. That one worked.
Yeah. So this is the thing for tomorrow. We're going to be doing Frankenstein meets the space monster. And, well, you explain it.
Well, it's shit. It's a really bad
movie. Awful.
And I sort of took this challenge to make it a little more tidy, in which you'll see after we watch the original version. But then just as I had sort of as a joke idea to make a trailer for the movie. And then I wanted to be really sarcastic with it. So I tried to make it as badass as I could and keep it like around a minute. So here it is.
And this is way more like suspenseful and interesting than the actual movie. Way more.
We have won the war, but we have no women. Must immediately begin phase 2 of our plan. Capture of the Earth women.
She sounded very Rouge V then.
Yeah.
He could be out there somewhere, wandering around, hurt. He could be suffering.
Yeah, I want to watch that movie. That movie looks good. Fucking hell. Anyway.
So that was a fun little, like, I guess, creative editing project. Call it. It was fun.
Indeed. Yeah. Are we going to do the Sargon video first and then bookmarks?
Yeah, as you like. We're at bookmarks, so we can do some of those if you want. It depends on you.
Should we split them in half?
Yeah, let's, because we kind of don't want to go from Rudy to Sargon.
No, there's too much there, isn't there? Anyway, I just like this. You have stupid friend, my dear, but it's dear with 2 E's as well. So it's just Parlor Takes is definitely worth a follow because there's some mental shit going on.
It's deer season back in Wisconsin, or it was recently, and so I was thinking he was talking to a deer.
He might be talking to a deer. I don't know that, given their cloven hooves, they're capable of typing, but maybe they're on Parler. Maybe there's some really racist deer who got kicked off Twitter. They're on Parler now. And it's just a cute cat.
Oh, look at he's dozing.
Adorable.
Sweet.
This is... I don't even know where to begin. Just... Get ready to gird your loins for some primo cringe.
Loin girding.
Okay.
You all know it now, so sing it with me. Everybody stand by him, and we'll stand by you. Oh, stand.
Oh, God. Oh my God.
Stand by you. Stand by you. So Donald, stand by you.
God. Oh my god! I keep like my shoulders are at my ears.
Oh, so
and
Donald,
my face is just
Donald,
looks like I had a lemon.
Stand by him.
Oh, my insides feel funny.
Stand by you. Oh, stand.
And look how awkward Trump is.
This is the face on a body I'm using.
Yeah.
Stand by you. Stand by you. Now listen to this.
And Ben Carson.
It don't matter where we go. It don't matter what Hillary does. As long as we're with you. Stand by me. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Mr. Donald Trump.
Oh god. I'm feeling nauseous now.
Starting with your salads.
Stop it. Make it stop.
We'll see you back in a few more minutes.
Oh my god. I've actually moved into like maybe slightly gonna hurl. That much cringe.
That was
like too much sugar.
That's unhealthy amount of cringe.
Ugh.
But again, when you walk into this, you know this is not a cringe-free space. Okay, this is gonna. I'm gonna show you nonsense.
Are you gonna use that in your compilations to torture people?
Oh god, yes. Oh, yeah, that's the prime example. That's perfect. Yeah.
Can you do like a montage of some of
I might do a musical version with some of the Blaze's weird shit, and then that, and then the MAGA. Anyway.
Oh.
And I found out what the there's the Trump Unity Bridge was a thing, which I'd seen before, but I didn't know it was like specifically a thing. Hang on, I'll God.
A unity bridge, like they're gonna hold hands?
No, it's basically a float.
What?
I've seen it before at Trump things.
Okay.
It's this thing. Hang on, I'll put this on the screen for everyone. It's that, right?
What?
It's that. It's the.
Why is that a thing?
It's a thing.
Can you blow it up even bigger? Please click on it.
Oh, okay, yeah. There we go.
I need to be fully horrified. Oh my god.
Yeah, this thing. It's a kind of bridge thing with Trump and Drain the Swamp, and it's on a trailer, and they drive it around.
I think you have to resize it because the dimensions of it looks like if it went over the slightest speed bump, it would just drag across it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if it does. I don't know.
How do they get it around?
Well, they drive it around. It's basically on a trailer, and they drive it from place to place, right?
God.
Hang on, literally, they've got a timeline of the tour here, right?
Oh, great.
So it goes from Michigan and Ohio in October, November 2016, and it goes all the way across the country. And the latest one was Sterling Heights, Michigan. And I realised this because one of the people at the hearing was whinging about the Trump Unity Bridge being impounded. And I thought, I don't know what that is, so I had to look into it, and it's
Why was it? Is that in the article?
No, it's,
is it in the,
hang on, is it? Oh yeah, there
Please
we go.
say.
On the November the 6th, 2020, the float was impounded by Detroit police for having an invalid license plate.
Oh.
And Curtis, who's the person who's there, was taken into custody because of an outstanding warrant for a charge of disturbing the police. Police warned him on Wednesday.
The peace, yeah.
Yeah, disturbing the peace, yeah. Police warned him on Wednesday not to return to Detroit, but he did so anyway and was arrested.
What the fuck?
So, yeah. And obviously signs on the bridge include All Lives Matter and Drain the Swamp.
The Trump Unity Bridge was impounded.
It was impounded. And so I was like, I don't know what that is.
There's a phrase, like that just kind of fucking sums up 2020. If you would have said that phrase to someone in 2014, I mean, what the fuck are you even talking about?
Trump Unity Bridge. Anyway, Ilhan Omar said cancel rent and mortgage payments. And Pregu said literally communism?
But it's not even.
It's not, no.
Like, not even close to
I don't think he's saying to claim to do that permanently, just like as part of the relief package, I think was the point. But that's literally communism, apparently. Yeah.
I really wish they would take you out of their names. It annoys me.
Yeah.
What's this?
Right-wing hacks Ian Miles Chung and Ali Akbar have been in a flame war. Ian Miles Chung is a leftist who right-wingers pay to pay bad articles write bad articles about conservatives. He's a Malaysian and has never stepped foot in America. I'm done with his shit. And then that famous picture of his. Amazing. Better a foreigner than a felon.
Ooh, back with petty.
Supposed Stop the Steal organiser Ali Akbar is a convicted fraudster accused of plotting voter fraud as McCain operative in 2008.
Oh, please say there's more.
Let them fight. Well, those are the three we have in this, but I presume they'll still be. Because the right wing don't take that shit lying down.
By the way, I need to top up my water because I've been laughing so much.
Whilst you do that, I'll find the Sargon video.
Perfect.
On his channel, is it on Lotus Bollock?
Yeah, it's on his Lotus channel.
Okay, well, we'll look there.
It's a segment, but my earphones are off now.
Okay. So I'm going to find that for everybody. I don't know what the fuck it's called because it's Joe Biden's communist advisor. Wow, okay. Interesting. I don't think that's the one she's talking about. Is she, maybe? I don't know. 1776 is back? Is possible? We'll have to wait and see. Anyway. Well, in the meantime, we'll put those cute kittens on the screen. There's a mama cat with two baby cats. So there you go. How are we all in the chat, by the way? I haven't really been checking because I don't really care. That's not nice. Not necessarily untrue, but it's not nice. Thank you to Las Kagar for getting rid of that idiot in the chat. It's a bot, apparently. Thank you. Don't insult college basketball like that. Who's insulting college basketball? I don't know. Anyway. Whatever. Yeah. So we're going to be taking a look at Sargon's video shortly, and the rest of the bookmarks. Why the fuck is Phil Collins trending? Is he dead? Probably not. Pop fact, Phil Collins once performed a duet with Errol Brown from Hot Chocolate, which was released as an extra. What? That's not Phil Collins, don't talk shit. Why is Phil Collins trending? What's the... What? Oh, there, he's dead. He's not...
Okay.
He's not old enough to be dead, is he?
I am back.
Oh, hello.
Hello.
We're looking at Phil Collins.
Why?
He's trending.
Okay.
Oh, okay, so they're doing Top of the Pops repeats from the fucking 80s. Okay.
Oh, look at the cuteness.
Yeah, so that's cute kitties. So,
that
with
is
the
so
palette
adorable.
cleanser.
That could be a calendar picture.
It could. Yeah, there's a mama cat and two baby cats.
Aww.
Mixed race family. Alright. Good to see cats doing miscegenation. Always good.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway,
yeah,
so
it's white cat genocide.
It is white cat. Yes. Which video were we looking at? I mean,
it was. It wasn't 17. Can you go to the videos, not the homepage?
I will do, but I just want to point out the latest one: Joe Biden's communist advisor. Always good.
Oh, he's mad at Joe Rogan now, huh?
Yeah, because he got rid of some racist people's bits from his Spotify.
I think it's 1776 is back.
Oh, it was? Okay. Fair enough. Oh, Joey's back! Yes.
Let's talk.
Anyway, yeah, we good?
Yeah.
Any intro for this, or?
No, I mean, we don't necessarily have to watch the whole thing. It's more just like, I want to address these. I mean, here's the thing of it. If voter fraud, if it happens, it's a serious thing.
Yeah.
And if you actually care about democracy, you should be taking it seriously. What annoys me deeply, offends me deeply, is that Carl is peddling conspiracy theories to an audience of people in America, and it doesn't affect him. But to bring the institution into disrepute is how democracies fall. And so if he is into rights and secularism as he claims, then he is actually he's doing harm to the worldview that he claims he's trying to protect.
Yeah.
So that was kind of the main theme of my anger when I saw this.
Okay, well, we'll take a look.
Yeah.
About
how 1776 is back, baby, according to the Republican Patriots. But we're not going to start quite at that point. We're going to start first at the presentation of Joe Biden by the media. The Wall Street Journal, the New York Times, and a few others have been publishing letters to the editor that all focus around a singular topic. How can Joe Biden heal the nation? This is a very optimistic statement. I don't think Joe Biden can heal the nation. I think that he is, in fact, the thing that is tearing the nation apart, or at least the...
What?
Yes.
Do you know how unpopular Donald Trump is?
47%, 42%, somewhere between there.
The fiction of his victory that about 47% of the United States, according to one Rasmussen poll, believe. They think the election was stolen, including 30% of Democrats. But anyway, from this one...
Again, that's not...
By the way, can you smack your lips some more?
Yeah, exactly.
No,
it's so annoying. But yeah, that's actually not true.
This is a letter from an Agrassi Bagramian from the University of San Diego's Law Department. He says, all people and ideas should be welcome in America. For that to be more than an aspiration, Joe Biden needs to make it clear to his supporters that holding beliefs different from their own doesn't make a fellow American their enemy. He must emphasize that America isn't this awful place flushed with systemic racism, that hard work and personal responsibility still...
Hang on. Has Donald Trump not spent the last 4 years demonizing people who believe differently?
Exactly. Okay. Also, the real problem are the left, because they're evil and they want to destroy society as we know it.
Well, I personally do, but I mean, that's just I'm a bad person. You know?
Will go a long way in this country, no matter what your background. So that's quite a staggering statement to start with, because I mean, how can he do that without alienating like a third of the Democrats? It can't happen. But the thing I take most exception to is all people and ideas should be welcome in America. Not really. I mean, America itself is an idea. It's founded on a constitution, which is a set of ideas codified that everyone pledges allegiance to, not the land, not the people. They pledge to the Constitution, and so what this means is you are pledging to an ideological framework.
Pause.
So you're not allowed to disagree with that?
Yeah. Well, also, we don't pledge allegiance to the Constitution. We pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which she stands, one nation, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Actually, it doesn't even mention the Constitution in the pledge. The only people who really swear an oath to the Constitution are people who are like elected officials, and people who are justices and others who are involved with the law or enforcing it. So I don't know what the fuck he's talking about.
Yeah. And it is the person in the chat, it's basically McCarthyism. Yeah.
Ideas that are against this ideological framework actually shouldn't be welcome in America. It actually should be normal to gatekeep against them.
Carl, you little bitch. I thought you were for the freedoms of the speeches. There was a free marketplace of ideas.
Oh, yeah. That's very 2015, Kevin. Now he wants to gatekeep ideology.
Precisely what Mr. Bagramian is saying.
But he's pronounced it twice now, differently. Okay.
We must emphasize that America isn't a place flushed with systemic racism. The next one he goes to, denouncing the radical ideas that have tainted our educational institutions over the past 10 to 15 years and are leaking into the corporate world, would allow for a renewed appreciation of the fact that there are good people on both sides of the argument. The problem is...
Take a drink, for fuck's sake. It's infuriating, Carl. For the love of God.
It is really disgusting. Imagine, we have a video here, at least, that sort of distracts us, but if you only have the podcast, all you can hear is him smacking.
Yeah. It's fucking hell, it's infuriating.
It is.
You've said that
my
all
form of
ideas
torture.
should be welcome in America, and then you're like, well, we need to denounce these radical ideas. Then not all ideas are welcome. Your own thinking on this is inherently confused and.
But it's just some prick in the fucking. Who cares? It's a dude. Yeah. I mean, okay. Seemingly, it's a professor at the University of San Diego. Okay, but it's still one professor's opinion of a thing. I don't care. Why do you care?
Also, he would probably say, this law professor, that the right thing to do is to debate the ideas, not suppress them, and have a critique of them, and offer an alternative worldview. All of that requires, like reading and thinking and knowing what people's arguments actually are and, intellectual work. And Carl isn't down with that.
No. Do you know what he is down with?
OPP? Oh. He is down with that, yeah.
And nobody has told this chap who's, university educated, got a law degree, like nobody's explained to me,
Carl, you can't say, do you remember him screaming, "You Oxbridge educated twat" at the guy? And he's now saying, well, he's got a university education. Well, yeah, and that's worth something, that's nice. But that doesn't mean he's right. And it goes against your entire shit about, like, the educational establishment are communists.
Yeah.
Can't have these two things in concert. These are contradictory. But this is the theme of the sort of appeal
sniff.
to Joe
Good.
Biden and his unification. It's like, well, can we just have all of this stuff that actually goes against one another? And the answer is no. And so if we go to the New York Times one, how Biden can unify the country. Again, this is a proposal from a reader. During his first 100 days, he should just hold town halls with Trump voters, just Trump voters. He should ask them to share what most worries them. He should listen carefully. After those town halls, he should report publicly on what concerns most prevalent, and what concrete steps his admission will be taken to try and address those concerns in a reasonable and balanced way. Right? When we get to
Well, that's fine in a sense, but during his first 100 days, he's got shit to do. He's the president.
Yes.
The fuck?
Like taking care of the vaccine distribution.
Yeah, there's lots of stuff. Like, I understand if his people want to do stuff like that, but as the president, you don't have time to be doing 100 days worth of fucking town halls.
Mm-hmm.
Town halls are fine.
Going around the country.
Got no problem with that. Especially if you're like in the House of Representatives, let's say, in the federal. You go back to your state, it's relatively small geographically, so if you host one in a particular part of your area each weekend, you can get around your entire area in like a month, right? So you can do town halls pretty regularly in that way, especially if you're geographically close enough to Washington that travel isn't that big of an issue. Like if you're in Hawaii, maybe not, but if you're the fucking president, you've got shit to do. Yeah.
Not to mention the cost of the security of doing like multiple events in different venues and then constantly traveling. It's not, they have to check out the buildings, the cars, they have to shut down the streets for the motorcades. Yeah. They need to clear off the roofs. They have to screw down manhole covers so people can't pop up underneath the car and shit. I mean, you can't just be president and be like, oh, I'm just going to fly off here. It doesn't work like that.
And there's a COVID fucking fire raging across America right now. What we need is lots of people in an enclosed space with an old man who is the president.
Yeah, I mean, yes. New York Times are sometimes they have good reports, but the rest they have pretty shit sometimes.
Yeah, and
this is just some dude.
This is letters as well, right? And I've got no problem with the basic concept of engaging with people. Political campaigns should try and engage in between elections as well. That's fine. But the point is, he's the fucking president. And you want him to go and listen to random fucking hicks in Kansas.
You could literally hire a focus group firm to do this and collect the data and thematize it by categories based on word counts and frequencies, things like that, sentiment analysis, and then get the report and still do his fucking job.
Yeah, exactly.
The clips of the Trump supporters and what their concerns are, you'll see this is just pipe dream. This can't happen. It's never going to happen. And it's because the demands on one side are ridiculous and totally un-American. The demands of
having Trump as a king. I agree. There is one side asking for un-American bullshit. Yes, true.
I have to say, I love being lectured by a non-American on what is American to another American. Yeah. Imagine the hubris. I'm going to tell you what Britishness is, Kevin.
Please do, because I don't know. The
Nobody fucking knows.
Exactly, American. At least America, you can do apple pie and baseball or some shit. What's Britishness?
Colonialism?
True.
I mean, it's kind of like Century's theme, so it's hard to shake the brand.
Yeah, we're just doing it differently now. We're still fucking over poor countries. We're just doing it slightly differently. It was quite expensive to have red coats on the ground. Fuck that noise.
Yeah.
Let's just get the IMF involved. Bollocks to it.
The Joe Biden side, all people, all ideas should be welcome in America. That's not possible. It's just not possible. You can't have all people coming to America. You can't have all ideas being...
When they say all people, they don't literally mean all fucking people. I don't think... Forgive me, Professor Bagramian, or whatever the fuck your name was. I don't think, and I'm going to speak on the man's behalf, I don't think he meant all 8 billion people just turn up at fucking Staten Island in the morning.
I think what Carl means there is letting people from every country in the world come in.
Yeah. So brown people.
Yes.
Muslims, probably most likely, I imagine.
Yes. And they're going to bring in their ideas. Because they're
terrible.
People.
I know.
Present in America without it tearing itself apart.
America never used to have quite so a big problem having boatfuls of Africans arriving. It used to be quite popular, quite a regular occurrence back in the day.
See, this just again shows Carl's pure ignorance. Because if there is anything that you learn from studying the history of America, is that it is constantly evolving because it is constantly evolving. The population is changing and the country changes with that. The United States of 2020 looks very different from the one of 1910. Different groups are kind of coming through and their influences are being accepted into the collective culture. And it's taken a long time for Black people, but I think they're finally at that part where they're starting to get a minimum of representation relative to where they are in the society. And so I'm kind of on a tangent here, but it comes down to this idea there isn't a pure America that immigrants are going to change. It's already a melting pot. And so it's just keeping with the trends. We are a process, not a state.
Well, I call it Ed points out in the joke, Britishness, racism, football, crap food, and subjugation. Land of hope and glory. Makes you proud to be British, doesn't it?
Oh, yes. There you go.
Basically true. That is basically what we are. Yeah.
But you do have beans on toast.
And shit lager.
Beans on toast and shit lager, yeah. But the beans on toast makes up for a lot.
Right?
Yes. God, I love a fry up.
We'll
I mean, I would be 3 sizes larger, but if I could have one every day.
Oh, yeah, you'd be dead, yeah.
You'd just happy.
Yeah, true, I suppose.
Just want to put a pin in that. We'll come back to it and just remember what they said when we actually get to hear how the Trump supporters are treating this. And I just want to be clear, I fully support the Trump supporters in this. It very much looks to me like this has been a stolen election.
Of course
and
you do.
The sort of veneer of, we should all come together, we should unify, as I'm sure you've seen, is absurd and insulting, I would suggest. Politico go full on to the sort of Pravda, North Korean sort of style outlets. Biden could be a larger than life.
What the fuck are you talking about? Genuinely, he's just. This is madness.
He's very all over the place. Joey's not getting a word in edgewise.
Yeah, neither should he. Fucking little bitch.
President.
Joey.
What? No, he can't. He can't be a larger-than-life anything. He's not inspiring anyone. And the funniest...
He's barely alive.
Exactly. Right?
There you go, Joey. You got a fucking word. Go on, Verge.
Look at these feels. Oh, he can't be larger than life. Where?
Yeah, also, again, why do you care? It's just a Politico thing from someone who's... it looks like they're going to be sucking Biden's dick in a fucking thing. Like, that happens. I don't care. I genuinely don't care.
Yeah, but the question for me is, how far is Carl agitating his audience against these results?
Yeah, exactly. Well, as someone says, Joe Biden's just a man. He's normal-sized. Correct.
Is if you go down to just the first paragraph, Joe Biden did not quicken any pulses during his long march to the presidency. It was Donald Trump's job to supply the energy to Biden's campaign, just a shade more than he supplied to his own. Democrats last March, after months of fidgety comparison shopping, made Biden the guess he'll do nominee. In November, it seems to evident to everyone but Trump that the general electorate has made Biden the fine, let's give him a try president. You can't even describe Biden's win in a way that sounds convincing.
What?
Well, okay. Carl doesn't understand literary style, does he?
No.
This isn't a news report.
Also, the general electorate has decided to make Biden the president. Yeah, they're fine. Let's give him a try. But what do you mean Hang on. Are they is Carl suggesting that John F. Harris, who wrote this article for Politico, is in on the steal?
No, I think he's just saying Joe Biden is such a lousy candidate, it's impossible he could win. I think that's his logic.
Yeah, I mean, well...
I think that's what he's saying. But I mean, if you look at the headline, it's about how Biden is going to be a larger than life president. So what do you do to set up the contrast? You start the article off with him being diminutive and small and unimportant, and then you contrast that with what he could be after he's president. This isn't analysis. This is like news fiction a little bit, it's narrative.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. Also, he turns 78 in 2 weeks. He's so old. Fucking hell. Jesus Christ.
Honestly, he's, like I said, I hope he has a long life, but he's done his job.
Yeah.
He got us across the finish line. That is all that had to happen. And so anything extra, he's done his bit.
Look, he doesn't.
As far as I'm concerned.
I mean, I don't wish anything upon him, but he doesn't have to make it to January 20th.
No, not at this point. I mean, I don't want anything to happen.
Exactly.
To him,
I'm not wishing it upon him. I'm just
saying.
saying.
If it happened, I'd be like, I'm okay. We can handle this.
Because the thing is,
2 months ago,
you don't want him to resign halfway through this, because then Harris's first term is cut short. Like you wanted to have, because if
full term.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So you're saying earlier is better than like 2 weeks before.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. Look, if he takes over and then dies, Harris's first term isn't going to be like a full term.
See if it's a race to who's that guy who lasted 9 days? Garfield or something?
Someone, yeah. Didn't he catch a cold?
Yeah.
Back when that was like a fatal disease.
Yeah, I think he insisted on giving his acceptance speech or whatever in January and got a cold. And
who was the Confederate general who caught a cold and died that way? And he was at the funeral of his opponent, his Yankee opponent who died before him, and he said that he had to do it without a coat on, because if he was here in my place and I was in his place, he'd do it without a coat on. And it was like the middle of winter, and he caught a cold and died. Dopey bastard.
Yeah.
He survived the Civil War to die of a cold because he's a toxic masculinity bullshit.
It might have been Harrison, by the way. There was someone said Harrison.
Are we talking John Henry Harrison?
Well, I don't know. Whoever died after 9 days.
Yeah, man.
I'm just relying on the chat. They're more reliable than Wikipedia, I'm sure.
Yeah, that's it. Anyway, so let's listen to Carl talk shit as well.
80 million votes, most in history.
81.
Second most was Trump, by the way. Record-breaking, the pair of them would have been.
They are, but Donald Trump is the highest recorded vote for an incumbent ever.
Loser, yeah.
Look, you should be. I mean, if I were Trump, I'd be proud of that, if nothing else.
Silver medal.
I mean, to be fair, if I was Trump, I'd also kill myself because I've done some appalling things. But that's a different thing entirely. Thing entirely.
How's that monetization coming?
They know.
Oh, it's not. It's just not, ever. In the history of ever. I'm never going to be monetized. Penis.
Nobody wanted him. But literally millions of people want Trump. They really want Trump.
Yeah, but more people wanted Biden.
He keeps leaving that part out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's it. Carl, lots of people wanted Trump. I don't think anyone has ever denied that. He does have a rabid fan base of tens of millions. Mm-hmm. Biden, more people voted for Biden there. Yeah,
and it's a popular vote by state.
Yeah.
And Biden won the delegate states with the most delegates by the popular vote. That's how it works. Yeah. It's popular.
Now that his lifetime ambition has been achieved, the question is whether the former vice president can vault above adequacy and do something momentous. Can Joe Biden be a great president? No.
Something more momentous.
Sorry, what?
He missed out the word more. Can he do something more momentous? So not momentous as in, could he have his fucking face carved into Mount Rushmore? Like, just, could he be better than the kind of bang average shit everyone is expecting? Like, maybe. Like, at least, like, this is optimism. This is what's the optimistic view of what could happen?
Exactly. Yes. Well, that's a very outrageous sentiment to Carl.
Yeah.
He cannot be a great president. I wouldn't even say...
It doesn't even say great. It doesn't say great. It says, can he vault above adequacy?
Yes, yes.
So just...
Again, narrative.
Not average. Can he be above average? Not can he be great.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't say can he be great. Like, the headline is a headline, Carl. It's meant to grab your attention. Can he be larger than life? Like if you said, I think Joe Biden might outstrip Abraham Lincoln. It's clickbait. That's what it's there to get you to read the fucking thing.
But he takes it as, it's truth. It's in print.
Yeah, exactly. This is not a news article. This is an opinion piece, Carl.
Yes.
Suggest he could be a president. Like, to have half of the country essentially think that you are illegitimate is pretty dramatic. Like, it's staggering.
Yeah, which is why Trump shouldn't be lying about this, yeah. Again, I agree, Carl. You're quite correct.
So Bill Barr. And Bill Barr has been a...
Take a drink, Carl. I'm going to... Oh, it's so
Smash the screen.
I genuinely...
So gross.
I had a moment there. The red flash came on me and I was about to scream. We're going to get to Bill Barr. Oh.
Yeah, he smack.
Oh, you fucking cock! Sorry. I just need to calm down.
Generally fairly reliable Attorney General, I would suggest. I'm no expert, but it seems
fairly
that he's
reliable.
Fair-minded in the other cases, and like the
fair-minded. Actually, suck a dick, Carl. Just
fair-minded.
Russiagate and all of these
other
trumped-up charges against Trump that just turned out to have nothing behind them.
Except the lots and lots of convictions of his people.
Yeah, that's why. Yeah, that's why people went to jail. There's nothing behind it. Yeah.
Bill Barr was actually quite fair. He heard both sides of the story, and so it was quite insulting, I think, for him to come out and essentially parrot the mainstream media line. This was
wow.
No, he's again, Carl. He's looked at the evidence, such as it is, and gone, yeah, there's no evidence of election tampering. This is nonsense.
Yep. Yeah.
An interview with the Associated Press where he said, quote, "To date, we have not seen fraud on a scale that could have affected a different outcome in the election." This drove people mad because there does seem to be large amounts of vote fraud in 5 specific places. This was responded to by Rudy.
Okay, you're going to go into the evidence for that?
Nah.
Okay.
I've got some affidavits
with all due
here.
respect to the Attorney General, there hasn't been a semblance of an investigation into the president's complaints, which is true, and local Republicans in some battleground states have followed.
No, there has. What are you talking about? Mm-hmm. What are you talking about? There are dozens of court cases. Oh, God, he's so full of shit.
Trump in making unsupported claims, according to AP, prompting grave concerns over potential damage to American democracy. They're the ones with the concerns about the damage to American democracy.
No, oh God, it's such an obvious lie. There's no result they would accept except Trump winning. They don't care about democracy. There's no element of caring about democracy here.
Yep. And Carl's giving his voice from across the pond, you know?
Yeah.
But go on.
I'm not sure I actually trust the AP to quote him properly.
Shut up, you virgin. Shut up. I don't even care what you have to say.
Like what? The AP quoted him selectively? I mean, come on. Like, what? They're trying to make up a story? He's just going to refute it.
Yeah, and the Trump campaign Trump campaign literally already responded to this.
Yeah.
So certainly they seem to... Look, fucking hell. The Trump campaign and the Trump team will call fake news on anything.
Mm-hmm.
And even they have gone, yeah, okay, he said that, but he's wrong.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Like, so... anyway.
They're talking about firing him.
Yeah. Well, I made the joke on Twitter, he's going to be replaced with Cat Turd. Cat Turd 2, sorry, my bad.
Yeah, 2.
Because I've seen Bill Barr before Congress talking about
hang on. Are we getting a bit of Joey nip? Cold in the room, is it, lad?
Where are you seeing these nips?
Nip. Hang on, let's blow it up. Let's have a look.
Oh yeah, no, you're right.
Bit of nip going on there.
Yes, it is.
So the idea that he thinks, oh no, everything's fine. I think that's probably a quote mine where they've taken that one quote.
Yeah, I don't trust the Associated Press either.
I'm just sorry. Can you just pause? You looking at another man's hard nipples and being like, "Oh, nip."
Bit of nip. Hang on, nothing wrong with a bit of nip. Nothing wrong with
No. It's just all I can see are his nips.
That's all you need to say.
What screenshot are you looking for here? No. By the way, is that Tom Green?
I don't think so.
It should be though, shouldn't it?
It should be. But there we go. That's a problem. Problem solved there.
But we'll get to that, because the way that this was reported, I mean, you can just take up the Metro article for an example. Now Donald Trump's top government lawyer admits Joe Biden won fair and square. That's not what he said. Even saying that we have not seen any evidence yet is not the same as saying this didn't happen. And this article is just riddled.
Oh, make a little one over his face.
That are.
Oh God, I can't.
They seem just. Yeah.
Well, but it goes over my fucking face. Jesus.
Well, you have to recenter it a little bit more. Get Carl on the screen because he's not fully on the screen yet.
If I do that, that should go behind the picture. There we go.
Yeah.
There we go. Oh, hang on. It needs to go below the chart as well, doesn't it? Boom. There we go. Beautiful. But now we've just got a slight bit of mouth sticking out. It's just weird. Anyway.
As you say, essentially a form of sort of quote mining. But this prompted the Department of Justice to come out and actually make a statement.
They've decided it's quote mining. Okay.
Themselves. We can go to the next one. They literally had to say, some media outlets have incorrectly reported that the Department of Justice has concluded its investigation into election fraud. And
well, no, it's concluding that the Attorney General said that.
Also, what Barr said was that there was no fraud that would have overturned the result.
Yeah.
Not that there was no fraud. I mean, there are problems at every election.
Yeah.
The question is, was it so systematic that it changed the outcome? And there's no evidence of that.
Yeah.
Announced an affirmative finding of no fraud in the election. That is not what the Associated Press reported, nor what the Attorney General stated. The department will continue to receive and vigorously pursue all specific and credible allegations of fraud as expeditiously as possible. So they are still investigating. The media is once again lying. And again, I think it all ties back into the narrative that, oh, Joe Biden is a uniter. We're all going to come together. We're going to bring the Trump supporters in. We're all going to talk to them. And it's...
What narrative? You read one fucking letter from a dude in the New York Times.
From a dude.
Yeah. Look, what... Yeah. That's not a narrative. Yeah. That's a person said a thing that would be like he thought was good.
This is how he's undermining democracy.
It's a joke.
You know?
There's no narrative here.
No, except the one in his head.
Yeah.
It's really, really, it's just gross to watch. It's really quite gross. It's in trying to hoodwink the public to the point where, I mean, like literally Biden with his office of the president-elect in the background. It's like there's no such thing.
You want to find the one of Trump?
Trump.
Mm-hmm.
Office of President-elect.
This is like, he's just such a propagandist, an anti-democratic propagandist. Propagandist, even.
Hang on. I'll put that in the center of the screen for everyone. Actually, yeah, I'll put that over his fucking face. Who cares? The Office of President-elect. That's Donald Trump. Yeah, there he is.
Perfect. Yeah. That's landed 100% on target.
So there you go. So it's not a thing that Joe Biden has invented. And yeah, it's not an official title or anything like that. It's just a thing that people like call that person during those 2 months. Who cares?
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. By the way, someone in the chat saying that there was a part of the hearing where Rep asked Rudy Giuliani if he was an honest man. Do you remember that happening?
I do remember that happening, yes. And there's a really funny bit during that as well, when they asked the question. Yeah, the C.A. Johnson, the black woman from Detroit, asks that, and someone in the chat goes, OMG, really loud. Like, really, like, you can hear it above. Like, it's so funny. So, yeah. So that is, yeah, that might make an appearance. I don't know. Just OMG. It was like how you would imagine Alan Partridge might react to a thing.
Brilliant.
Congress came out and wrote a letter saying there's no such thing, Joe, and you're still there, embarrassingly.
Who wrote a letter saying that? The Congress wrote a letter saying that.
The House or the Senate or both? Because Congress?
Letter... President-elect or something. Fact check. Letter on Biden not being president-elect does not. Hang on. Social media users have been sharing a letter. Oh, hang on.
Oh, God.
Yeah, allow all. Fuck off. Social media users have been sharing a letter online saying Joe Biden is not president-elect and that is not an official stance, and that is the official stance of the US Congress. The letter, however, while authentic, was sent by one subcommittee member and does not represent the official view of the entire Congress or House of Representatives.
God, you're such a hack, Carl.
The post shows a letter here dated the 13th of November 2020 and sent by House Representative Jody Heiss, who I've literally never heard of. Should have a look at Jody Heiss.
I think there was a link in the article. But yeah.
Jody Heiss.
Oh, Jody's a guy.
Yeah. Georgia's 10th congressional district since 2015. A Republican.
Oh, God. American. He's a radio talk show host, it says at the top.
Yeah. During a battle between the ACLU and Barrett regarding the public display of 10 Commandments, Heiss was asked by a local radio station to provide weekly updates to address various other issues. From that weekly program, a daily show, Let Freedom Ring, was over 400 stations. He focused on constitutional, moral, and religious liberties.
Yeah, so Christian American identity, kind of politics, religion.
Yep, he is the vice chairman of the Subcommittee on Government Operations and the Subcommittee on National Security.
Oh, scary.
Freedom Caucus. Congressional Western Caucus. Is that Western United States, presumably? Medicine Caucus and the Republican Study Committee. I wish they would.
More often.
He is pro-life, opposes abortion being used for race or sex selection.
He's got a D from marijuana legalization groups.
Heiss opposes gay marriage. Heiss compared homosexuality to alcoholism and opposed a ban on gay conversion therapy. Oh, so he's a real
piece of shit.
Yeah, garbage. So a person, not the Congress, wrote a letter.
Yeah. All the research they do over at Lotus Eaters.
Yeah. In the letter, Heiss refers to another letter sent to Murphy. Who the fuck's Murphy? I don't know. By Democratic House members, this can be read here. Similarly, the letter reflects the views of some Democratic representatives, but not Congress's official stance. The letter by the Democratic House members asks Murphy, a Republican appointee to Donald Trump, to provide a briefing on plans to implement the Presidential Transition Act. So it's
okay. It's nothing.
I don't care.
It's literally nothing.
Yeah,
and it's not Congress.
No, it's a dude. A congressman, certainly.
Yeah, but not all of Congress.
Yeah.
Doing it like Fox News filmed like a meeting with him and his Zoom call, talking about these things, and he's just droning in front of this thing, and it's like, okay, so this is all a big fiction. He's not elected to anything. He is
all is droning.
I mean, I'm going to get so much out of this because we're 10 days away from the Electoral College meeting. Mm-hmm. Most of the states have already sent their people. Not literally, because they don't. Why travel to Washington until the 14th? But they've appointed these people.
Yeah.
And the one I think there's like 4 states remaining, and they're like California and New York or whatever. So it's like, who cares?
Mm-hmm.
So on the 14th, he will win the Electoral College, and that will be the official start of the transition. And then on the 20th of January, he will take over. At what point do these motherfuckers just go, okay, so this has happened then?
Yeah, never.
Like, at what point? Because the copium can't last forever.
We'll see. We will see.
He is just what the media is postulating and promoting, and they can't even talk about him in glowing terms. They can't.
Because this isn't a fucking dictatorship.
Yeah.
I mean, to be fair, Carl, the article you just read out with him saying that he could be larger than life is kind of quite glowing. Like, they are juxtaposing the fact that he's not like the most spicy candidate in the history of the world.
He's not Barack Obama. We all know that.
No, that's why Barack Obama chose him. Whitey McBoring.
Yep.
Balances out, the long-legged Mac Daddy.
The swagger.
As that dude once described him, the radio host in America. So, yeah.
Can't even talk about it positively. They're trying, but there's just nothing there. Well, no one was set alight by Biden's campaign. Trump provided the energy to Biden's campaign.
Yeah, no one's saying he got 80 million votes because he inspired 80 million people. It's because everyone hates Trump.
Yeah. and Trump putting his energy out there. I mean, Clinton learned you can't compete with that. You can't try to take over the room. What you need, I mean, at this point, people are just fucking fed up of him.
Yeah.
They were sick of him. They were tuning him out. They wanted a break from his constant fucking noise.
Yeah.
But he didn't win. So. Okay.
Sort of sounds like a Communist Party member trying to write a poem.
Yeah.
Shut up, you virgin. Sorry.
What?
Sorry.
How is it? It's like a Communist Party member?
Also...
What Communist Party? Where? At what time period?
Joey, we watched your video last week, so in a week, you've grown no more beard. That's an embarrassing
it's
attempt.
It's like a fuzzy little hamster.
It is. A strong gust of wind would take that off. That's embarrassing, my friend. Anyway. But yeah, sorry. Every time I see him, I've got an intent... I want to scream, shut up, virgin at him. Just look at him.
You can't do it all the time.
I fucking can. Don't test me. Don't test me, Kristi.
I don't like virgin shaming, but if you call him Joey, that's pretty funny.
Yeah, but he's also a virgin. Look at him. I don't hear it. Kristi, all I'll say is I hear you saying don't virgin shame. I don't hear you saying no, he's not a virgin. Just saying.
Right,
just saying.
Yes.
About the dear leader, and they have no idea. There's nothing inspiring. They just got to make stuff up.
Exactly.
But to be fair, the idea that he stood in front of this sign that says President-elect, and he's droning on, and the media don't really know what to do with it. I mean, if he does win, that's not going to be any different. He'll have, the office of the president. He'll just be the same guy.
Exactly, and it'll.
Hang on. So it won't. So even when he stood behind the podium that says president, and he becomes president, that won't change. Are you sure? Because I think having access to nuclear codes definitely does change things. Just a little bit.
I'm just wondering when Joey has time to watch all this U.S. media, considering there's like CNN and the evening news and Fox and MSNBC.
Kristi, don't be disrespectful. His mum allows him to stay up way past 8 p.m. Okay?
Before little Joey has to jump in a sec.
Wait to school night. So.
Will all be the sort of media fiction that has been created. But anyway, so yeah, going back very quickly, don't worry about changing anything, to Biden unifying the country and he should have town halls with the Trump supporters. Well, let's see what the Trump supporters are saying.
And America gave me the opportunity to succeed in my life. Oh, yeah. And that's why I love America. And that's why I'm going to fight for America. And that's why you're going to fight for America. This is our country. Don't let anybody take it away from us. It's 1776. This is our battle. This is our fight. This is for our freedom. 1776 is back. Send a message from Georgia.
Love it.
That's amazing.
Yeah, you may have loved it. And he may well be a Trump supporter, but turns out Trump isn't a supporter of him.
No, that's true. No. Yeah, bring it up.
So,
yeah.
Where are we? Oh,
you'll find it.
I will fucking find it. Yeah, absolutely.
Kind of nice when we can mix up the bookmarks with the videos. It's a nice integration.
Indeed. There we go. Right. So, this is the. I think it's time for me to get my cock out. Definitely.
Logan. Well, it's that time.
Amazing. Conservatives of cancel culture. Cocks. And penis.
Is it all the way out now?
It is. I've definitely whacked it on the fucking table. Absolutely. So yes, Breitbart wrote a piece saying that Lynn Wood, the guy you just saw there, that's definitely a massive Trump supporter and blah 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 blah, was a Democrat. Lynn Wood has for decades voted for, donated to Democrats including Barack Obama and David Perdue's 2014 opponent. Leftism, because he suggested that maybe don't vote for the Republicans in Georgia because they're all corrupt and against Trump. But that's not necessarily. That's a conservative cancelling a conservative. But it's really interesting that the Trump War Room retweeted that.
Yes. Yes.
Trump War Room.
Yep, they're all about if the Republican senators don't do something to help Trump, don't vote for them. And Trump is kind of like, yes and no.
1. Breitbart is dishonest. This is from Lynn Wood himself.
Yeah.
Breitbart is dishonest. Historically, I am non-partisan. This year, I was partisan because I love Donald Trump. I donated $375,000, which is a lot of money, to the Trump PAC because he's a man of the people. He's an ordinary Joe, old Lynn.
Mm-hmm.
David Perdue solicited a $25,000 donation, and I gave it to him. I gave $5,600 to Republican Doug Collins and hosted a fundraiser for him. So he's having to defend himself because he's been cancelled by the Trump people for saying don't vote in Georgia. So there you go. The conservatives of cancel culture strike again.
Conservative of cancel culture.
Indeed.
Love it. Love everything about it. It's the most American thing I've ever seen, and I wholeheartedly endorse 1776 being back again. Like Alex,
you've got a Union Jack behind you.
He's supporting revolutionaries now, Kev.
Against the Union Jack. Yeah, okay. I mean,
yep, he's so patriotic.
I think, Carl, you might be an idiot who doesn't understand things.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh, sorry, I need to put this back up. Apologies.
Alex Jones, when he was talking to Piers Morgan, 1776 will commence again if you try and take our guns. Well, here we go. It's actually commencing again now.
No, it isn't. Lynn Wood said a thing.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean it's 1776 in any respect.
Also, according to Republicans, some Democrat has been trying to take away guns for at least 60 years now.
Yeah.
And yet, they haven't. And the dupes fall for it every single time.
Well, yeah, absolutely, yeah. I mean, Barack Obama was absolutely correct, albeit that he maybe shouldn't have said it, but that some parts of America cling to their Bible and guns. That's all they have. That's their entire identity.
Yeah,
and for some people, Trump embodies. They've managed to coagulate those two things into one thing. Donald Trump, even though he's not a Christian, and has actively campaigned for gun regulation in the past.
Yeah, maybe congealed, coagulated those two things.
Smushed. They've smushed those things together.
Looshed.
They've looshed the things together, absolutely.
Like this was a Stop the Steal rally in Georgia, where they had a Georgia senator on the stage. They had Lynn Wood, who's one of Trump's lawyers. They had Sidney Powell.
They had a state senator.
Yeah, he doesn't even know the offices. No. He does so much research, though, Kat.
But they did also have a pitchfork. So good time.
Yeah, they with a flag on it.
A pitchfork with a flag on it that was interfering with the autofocus of the camera. And the worst sound system setup I've ever heard in my life.
Just spend more money on audio, people. Jesus. Just use your camera on your phone. It's fine. Really, it's fine. It's the audio you need to invest in.
Powell, who I guess is not one of Trump's lawyers, but he's working with their campaign team. But the whole thing was actually...
Hang on, hang on, dickhead. How is she not one of his lawyers if she's working with his team?
Yep. Again, Carl speak. Just say words.
Yeah.
I actually found it quite inspirational, to be honest. Lynn Wood was a surprisingly good orator.
The bit where he was going about the blood of Jesus was particularly interesting, yeah.
Yeah, all the religious stuff. I'm sure that's really getting you going with your God-filled flirting.
He had a Bible with him on stage.
Yes,
like
to talk about an election. Yeah.
In a secular democracy. Yeah, well done.
Yeah.
Well done.
Fiery, as you can see, and it felt like fire. I mean, they were pulling absolutely
it felt like American
punches.
democracy is on fire, yes.
Sidney Powell had a remarkably good presence for someone. She's not a natural speaker, but she has a kind of grace and dignity around herself where she's like, no, this is the case. This
grace
is right.
and dignity? Have you heard this woman speak?
Smackety Carl is going to tell people who are good natural speakers. Love it.
Smackety Carl. Lovely.
Yeah.
We're taking it seriously. She was very well dressed. She was very credible looking. If I was an American,
she's very well
see this resonating.
She's very articulate for a woman.
Who are like, no, the Democrats are up to something really shady. We've got all of this information. We've got all of this evidence. And the fact
they should show that in court then. They really should. Yeah.
Bring out the evidence.
Yeah.
Media is denying all of this. I can definitely
just makes it worse, doesn't it?
Yeah, exactly. It looks like there's a big theatre production being put on by the media, whereas and these are real people. You can tell they've got they've got regional accents. They're
appealing
to
regional accents.
American mythos. That's what they.
Motherfucker.
Some hicks.
We just read out he's been giving hundreds of grand to a Trump pack. He's not an ordinary person.
You're a rube.
Yeah.
Is what you are.
Yeah. It's a joke. It's a fucking joke.
They're not saying, well, the rules say this and the numbers were this. And, no, we're Americans. 1776 is commencing again. It's back, all this sort of stuff. It's, they're invoking the Bible, which, as an atheist, is weird sounding to me, but I can see that it's clearly got traction with these folks,
Yeah, religious bigots. Yes, it does.
Whips them up into a religious frenzy. That's what you criticize Muslims for doing, right?
Yeah. Yeah, imagine just transport that to a Muslim guy saying that in Britain, waving a Quran around.
Yeah. By the way, in the chat, I love this. Someone writes, Colin writes, how do I find that cursed image? And Steve of the Dead replies, Colin, you don't find it. It finds you.
Exactly. You won't see it coming, but you'll know when it's there.
And they're basically, they seem to be kind of turning into sort of like conservative versions of Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. Obviously not the same person, but and not for the same cause, but the same attitude is, we are just going to fight you now. It's.
Oh, my fucking head hurts.
Because that's what AOC says. Look, I have problems with AOC, but for fuck's sake, Carl, stop lying on the woman. All you conservative white guys, stop lying on the woman. God,
coming down to
you
the
just
fight.
can't.
We're not going to compromise with you.
No, so Kristi, you're wrong. She goes around killing people in Among Us. I've seen it.
And telling people to fight.
She's a monster.
Mm-hmm.
We are just going to have it out with you.
To be fair, though, I remember the exact same, well, not the exact same, but a very similar thing happening after Obama and the rise of the Tea Party.
Yeah.
Like, the same kind of energy, same kind of rhetoric, same kind of, as you're thinking, we're just going to go after you.
The difference with the Tea Party, though, is the Tea Party, I saw a bunch of the rallies.
Here's why you're wrong, Joey.
In 2011, and the Tea Party folk were just basically saying Obama is a communist. And so it wasn't that they thought that there was something illegitimate about the procedure. It was that they objected to Obama's policies.
No, they did. They were calling him a Kenyan.
Yeah. And I think they had nooses.
Yeah.
Some of the times.
Yeah, they burnt it. I saw him burnt in effigy at least once.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Objected to what he wanted to do, but they weren't saying that the thing has been falsified or stolen or something like that.
Yes, they did.
But there seems to be lots of evidence that it is in this case, and it seems that these folks are given a kind of legitimacy from that the Tea Party just didn't have. The Tea Party was ideological.
They said he was Kenyan and he couldn't be president.
On the ground, real world concern. And so it's an open fight. But the thing is, I don't blame them for being like this, because it seems to me that at every point, the Democrats are just doing what they can to destroy the Republicans.
I wish that were
with
true.
All the gerrymandering.
I wish that were true, but it's not.
Voter suppression. Yeah.
I've decried them many times for being spineless by comparison to the Republicans. The Republicans do shit because they can. We saw that with the Supreme Court stuff over the last 4 or 5 years.
Yeah, this is it. Like, elections have consequences, and when they have power, they use it to basically create a one-party state. That explains their entire political agenda with the justices and the gerrymandering for the last 50 years.
Yeah.
One-party white supremacist rule. Yeah. Everywhere.
Seems to be about destroying them. When it comes to anything, it's like, right, well, you're going to have 5 Republican Supreme Court justices. Well, we'll pack the court. Joe Biden, will you pack the court? I'm not going to answer that. The American people don't deserve to know. That means yes. And then he
That's not what he said.
No, that's not what he said.
He said he was going to have a commission look at it and other issues around the justice system.
Yeah.
Around appointments.
Which
and
is
then look
often
at their recommendations.
Kicking a story into the grass. Like, no,
yes.
Nothing happened. When you appoint a commission, that's basically, I intend to do nothing and I want to postpone giving a fuck about this until later. And then the commission comes out, they drop the commission report, and no one cares.
Well, members of Congress might pick it up.
True.
There might be policy changes that, he can't do anything as president. All he can do is sign legislation. So it has to go to the legislative branches.
Which means it's not getting through. Because even if they do manage to win both runoffs, which, by the way, I've seen some polling which looks very good in Georgia.
Yeah,
even if they do win both of those, you're still going to have to get past Joe Manchin and various other, I'm going to describe them as pricks, who are technically Democrats and will vote for generally democratic things, but won't vote for packing the court. They're not going to vote for any number of sort of more progressive things, maybe.
I mean, I haven't looked at 2022, but the thing is, if we get the majority in 2020 and it's a slim majority, yeah, you can do what you can do with a slim majority, but if you expand the majority the next time, then you don't have to worry about the mansions, and he can go, I tried, and
but
he can vote the way he needs to stay elected. And
yeah, even then, I mean, because Obama, was it 54 senators, the Democratic senators at the time of the Obamacare vote? And he couldn't get, he had to water it down pretty substantially to get it past the Blue Dog Democrats.
Well, no, I think the problem with the ACA was that they actually let Republicans have a say in it. And they thought that by making it something like Romneycare and making it not all one insurance company run by the government, but keeping private companies, this sort of mixed model of things, that they would bring some Republicans over. And instead, they did a Sir Humphrey, and they just went in and asked for as much as they could get to water it down, and then they voted against it anyway. So Obama's mistake was negotiating in good faith with Republicans.
Yeah.
That was the fatal error, I think, of how the ACA went down.
Yeah, I watched.
He literally said this.
They should have just had it all. Sorry, just pause it. They should have just wrote it for Democrats and passed it with the votes they had. And I think if they could go back now, that's probably what they would do in hindsight.
You're going to do it, right? So that means, again, by foul means, you're going to try and achieve what you want to get. And
unlike now, where we're going through the courts to get entire states disenfranchised.
Yeah, or going to legislative bodies asking them to overrule the popular vote and send their own electors.
Yeah.
That will vote for the person who lost.
Then you've got the pro-mass immigration, all of this stuff, because they think that the immigrants are going to vote for them. So they think they can win through demographic change. But
no, we also want to do white genocide. It's not just voting. We want to kill off all white people in Minecraft. So
also, not everyone who emigrates becomes a citizen. I've lived abroad since 2004. I've become a citizen of neither of the countries that I'm legally residing in. So yeah, maybe people's kids would have American citizenship, and if they stayed in America, well, then they get the same rights as everyone else. But this idea that somewhere we're going to bring in immigrants, and then in the next election we're going to have all these more votes. No, what you have to worry about is how many, 1 million Hispanic teens become eligible to vote every few months in America. That's the demographics you need to be thinking about, not immigration coming in. That has nothing to do with how elections are going to go.
If you could just stop being fucking racist, you could win some of those votes.
Yeah.
Call me crazy, but you could turn around some of these numbers by just not shitting on those people.
I mean, especially in the Hispanic community, I think there's a lot of room for growth. They're very quite, a lot of people who come to America are pretty pro-capitalist. They want to start businesses,
Well, not just pro-capitalist, but a lot of them are deeply religious.
Mm-hmm.
Mostly Catholic, because they're from Latin America, as it were.
Yeah.
But there's a religious conservatism that can be tapped into there, and all you need to do is just carve down the numbers. You don't even need to get a majority of black people or a majority of Hispanic voters, because you've already got the majority of whites. So if you can cut down the Democratic majorities in those areas by being not as racist. Look, I'm not even saying, I prefer you to be not racist at all, but just not as overt. Look, keep it in your pants a bit, and you could actually start winning some of those votes, and so you wouldn't have to rely on shenanigans to win national votes anymore.
Yeah, I think I'm right in saying that W got 45% of the Hispanic vote.
Did I? Yeah, that's pretty impressive.
Because usually it's about a third, and I think he overperformed, and he had experience in Texas. Where you have a lot of people who, when it was Mexico and that was their house, and then the United States took it over, that was still their house. They still lived there. Yeah. So, they have a very different approach. Well, not a completely different, but in terms of ancestry, who's been there longer. There are a lot of Mexican Americans who have been there longer than the whites in that area. And so that changes the dynamic from where you just get anti-Hispanic racism in America.
Yeah, and that's him overperforming there would be a reason why he was the last Republican to win a national election.
Yeah.
Popular vote, that is,
Yes, yeah. He didn't do it against Gore, but he did it against Kerry.
He did, yes.
that that's not going to happen. He started making all gains in all of these categories, all of these sort of, immigrant categories, because they're not just unthinking automatons who are just like, yes, massa, I'll vote for the Democrats, like the Democrats think of them. No. They can see when something's going wrong, and they can see when there's a more wholesome alternative.
Donald Trump is a wholesome alternative.
A wholesome alternative.
And they started voting for Trump.
That's how far down the rabbit hole he's gone.
Yeah, ridiculous.
CNN leaks from Project Veritas. You can see that in the way that they're like, the Cubans love a bully and stuff like that. And
Veritas.
The Cubans love someone who's going to stand up for Republican values. You're a republic,
We saw on election night,
Well, no, they often stand up for fascists. I'm sorry, if you support the Batista regime, you're a fascist. That's just the way.
Is he talking about Cuban Americans?
I believe he is. Yes.
Yeah, and we know that they're like one, very localized community, and also their politics are very different from other people in the demographic.
Yeah.
They kind of there is a anti-Castro, which I still don't get. How long do the Castros have to be dead before?
Well, technically, the
the
younger of the Castros is still technically alive, but he's not head of the government anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Anyway, Virgin's going to say something.
All the leftists on Twitter, when the news was coming in about the Cubans in Florida, fearing them from the Latinx race.
Yep.
They were like, they're not Latinx, they're not part of
They're
us
white
anymore.
men now.
Yeah.
They're white. And it's like, welcome to the club. It's, it sucks, but you get to at least fight something you believe in.
What? I don't even know what that means. I don't even know what that means.
God, he's so rubbish.
Whatever. Yeah.
So the point the point was that the Republicans are clearly not interested. The sort of the MAGA patriots are clearly not interested in the false, the lie that is buying into an inclusive Biden presidency. And it was genuinely nice as well. Like Sidney Powell, the first woman who came up to Sidney Powell to ask questions, because they just did it like we do live shows, right? People just line up and we'll just take your questions and we'll just answer them. And they did exactly the same thing. Again, very open, very transparent. It was Joe Biden. It looked very choreographed, stage managed. All of the people on the Zoom call with Biden had scripts, right? None of the people had scripts when talking to these other people. So
can you pause it? Wait. Does he have a call-in show?
No, I think he meant when he was doing the MEP thing. Do you remember he was going around and people could go and ask questions?
Oh, I thought I kind of got the impression like you can just call up the show and they'll talk to you.
Can you, mate? Well, maybe they can. I don't know, but I don't.
You should call.
No, I'm not spending money. If he wants to talk to me, he knows where I am. Him and what fucking horse manure armor, indeed.
He might bring his horse manure with him.
I imagine so.
Real concern.
Have you heated up in the microwave?
They don't need to rehearse it. And the first one is really sweet. She just came and goes, Sydney, you're my hero. And it's like, that's lovely. But
she also said, what do you say to family members who say you're crazy?
Yes, that's the same person.
You're going to ignore that bit of it, Carl, because that bit of it wasn't quite so lovely. It was hilarious.
We did see that part.
Yeah.
We saw it.
Yeah. We watched the whole thing. It was amazing. Well, the bits that were actually broadcast. Yeah. Not the bits where the feed dropped out because the technology's shit.
Oh yes. Yeah. They had to switch between.
We missed those bits, but so did everyone else.
It was very much the same with the the conferences.
Yeah.
Like I'm sure you saw how fake the Democratic one was.
Totally.
Whereas the Republican one was just brilliant, with Kimberly Guilfoyle losing her shit.
Yeah, and songs. People were singing.
Yeah, people were singing. Yeah.
Presenters, the robotic call-ins, and then the Republican one. Sure, it still stayed Vantage, but you could tell it was very much more amateur.
Yeah,
and in a
it's
good
more
way.
Flexible.
Yeah,
there's a lot more room for foibles to be demonstrated.
Amateur and flexible.
I mean, this is something we actually have an article on the website about this with YouTube. That's also true. Mm-hmm. Like the leftist sphere on YouTube is entirely centralized around a few small bubbles that make up the majority of all the content and all the views.
Yep.
Whereas if you go to the right, it's so decentralized. It's almost kind of beautiful.
Yeah, it's just
because it's because there's so many more right-wing channels because it's a skewed demographic towards our audience.
Yeah, and it's not decentralized in the sense that you're all sharing the same fucking people.
Yeah, they're just moving around.
Yeah, they're.
Fox.
I think it's why you also say about that accent thing. Like, one of the problems with the rise of media was that you got these centralized accents, so BBC accent, or what was it, the Californian
sort of Dan Rather CNN accent.
Yeah, so you get rid of all the regional ones, and with the growth of the internet, with the decentralized nature of the right wing on YouTube,
have you two pricks listened to yourselves? You're just weird
pay money for this,
like nothing accents.
Well, I mean, to be fair, it's only gotten like under 30,000 views.
Yeah, but I mean, these two going on about with they've gotten rid of regional accents when they've got the blandest accents I've ever heard.
Yes.
You get everyone under the sun.
Yeah.
So you end up with all these wholesome, homegrown accents everywhere.
Yeah, I love it. But so this is
What does that have to do with anything about voter fraud?
As pointed out, Dan Rather was CBS. You fucking idiots.
The hell out of the Republican Party. And the Republican Party, because you've got Raffensperger in Georgia, who is clearly not like a hardcore MAGA guy.
But he was endorsed by Trump.
Right.
Just want to point that out for everyone.
Mm-hmm.
There are allegations that he's been paid by China, that he's been paid by Dominion.
Yeah, baseless accusation. I mean, he's a scumbag. I don't fucking care. He's a Republican fucking Secretary of State for Georgia. I don't give two fucks about him. But these are baseless accusations.
Yeah. And if he doesn't say he denied them, is it defamation?
Yeah.
I don't know. But seriously, he's just spreading this shit around.
Yeah.
And I can't confirm or deny any of these allegations, obviously.
But I am just going to repeat them. I'm just going to repeat them and say, well, I can't confirm or deny it. Like, did you know Carl fucks pigeons? I can't confirm or deny those rumours. But Carl fucks pigeons. That's a thing.
Yeah, that's an allegation that's been made.
Yeah, people have
by
said
Marco
it.
Rubio.
People have said it, yeah. It's a thing.
Or Rick Perry, I think we heard it from.
Rick Perry said it, yeah.
But he seems to have been placed in a very uncomfortable position where it looks like essentially the GOP, the Republican Party, get on board with this or they're going to get torched down. You know, there is no way the MAGA movement is just going to let the Republicans go, well, you know, he got the election, the numbers are in, that's it, we've got nothing to say. No.
There's no way they're going to allow them to accept democracy.
Yeah. They have to stand up against it.
Yeah.
No.
Fight.
Warpath. This is a warpath, and you have to understand that you either get in line with it or you get burned down by it. You know, there is too much power and energy behind what the MAGAs are doing. But let's watch this clip a second, sorry.
And the straw that broke the camel's back today is, again, this 20-year-old contractor for a voting system company just trying to do his job. Just there. In fact, I talked to the Dominion today and I said he's one of the better ones they got. His family's getting harassed now. There's a noose out there with his name on it. It's not right. I've got police protection outside my house. Fine. You know, I took a higher profile job. I get it. Secretary ran for office. His wife knew that too. This kid took a job. He just took a job. And it's just wrong. I can't begin to explain the level of anger I have right now over this. And every American, every Georgian, Republican and Democrat alike, should have that same level of anger. Mr. President, it looks like you likely lost the state of Georgia. We're investigating. There's always a possibility. I get it. And you have the rights to go through the courts. What you don't have the ability to do, and you need to step up and say this, is stop inspiring people to commit potential acts of violence. Someone's going to get hurt. Someone's going to get shot. Someone's going to get killed.
Right. So you can hear that he's genuinely afraid. This guy's that was the voting manager for Georgia. And obviously, do not harass people, do not threaten people, do not do...
Oh, here we go. So the fake arse covering at the start. But also, yeah, go and put nooses outside people's houses. Yeah, I think it's fine to go and blow up sheep.
Sheep?
I was just trying to think of a funny thing to add on to the end of the thing.
Okay, well, it was random.
Do any of these things. But what I'm doing is just telling people what I think is happening, and I'm not endorsing it at all. It's just that I think there is a huge amount...
You're definitely not. You're not being a disingenuous lying piece of shit right now. You definitely don't endorse these acts of violence, except every time they happen, you do support them.
Yeah. Like the New Zealand shooter. You just made him the sympathetic figure.
Yeah, the New Zealand shooter, or the fact that you literally put out a thing after Carl Rittenhouse saying that the Tree of Blood The Tree of Patriotism. No, was it, the Tree of Liberty needs to be refreshed from time to time with the blood of patriots and traitors, which the old was it not Lincoln, Washington quote?
No, it was Jefferson.
Jefferson. Apologies. Yeah, Al Jefferson, former centre for the Celtics and the Minnesota Timberwolves. Yes.
Also, can I just say, is it the case, because I know it was cut off a little bit in the OBS, but is Carl looking off screen while that video played?
Yeah, presumably they've got a TV screen off to the right, his left.
Right, but he should have moved. I mean, their production people should have moved him so it looked like he was watching the thing, not just off into the blackness of the bar sidebar. I just think at an editorial level, scene composition, like you're facing the content we're watching.
Yeah,
that's important. It looks weird when you don't.
Oh well, I mean, you might have the issue. I don't care.
Right,
Genuinely
it's something
don't
I
care.
notice.
Yeah,
I think it looks weird.
Amount of momentum and frustration built up within the sort of patriot movement that is expressing itself in negative ways, and it's because of things like them saying, well, there's no evidence for it, like
what, telling the truth is annoying.
Yeah,
okay,
it's inconvenient to their feelings.
The way that Bill Barr was quoted is like, well, there's no evidence of widespread fraud. It's like, why are you using the word widespread? Right, is there evidence of fraud? Yes, there's evidence of fraud. In fact,
where?
Yes, where? I mean, name names, cite the statutes, show the evidence. Don't just make allegations.
Yeah, it's just nonsense.
Look, this is from I think it was the Michigan hearing that Rudy Giuliani had yesterday. This is a woman who admits that she committed fraud. She was instructed by the person organizing the counting of the ballots, her supervisor, to commit fraud. She was told to backdate ballots. So she personally sat there, and when a ballot came in for like the third or the fourth or whatever it is, she backdated it to the second.
I was told by...
Yeah, but a judge already dismissed this as unreliable evidence.
Yes, and also this was the woman who was wrongly... See how he's looking off camera? He's looking in the same direction she is. It's just weird.
Yeah.
She said she was demanding photo ID when that there's no law that requires that. So she was interfering with voters' rights.
Yeah.
So, why don't you play that clip?
My supervisor, Miss Aldridge, don't look for anything. Do not check anything. Just enter the date, November 2nd, keep going. We have lots of ballots. We have to finish this. I need you to do as fast as you can. Just enter November 2nd, keep going.
That's just her admitting that she was conducting fraud during the ballot count. So you can see why people are angry. And
lock her up. Lock her up. Oh, no, that's not what you're saying. Okay.
No. And also, again, this was dismissed by the judge who reviewed her entire affidavit and compared it to what other people were saying.
Yeah.
Didn't just selectively pull out
Trump
her allegation.
Yesterday came out and gave what is being most charitably described as a defiant speech.
I would say pathetic. He virtually started crying at one point. It's embarrassing.
And the thing is, it was actually not one of his best speeches. Trump has given way better speeches than this, but he does lay out the case that, look,
he's a fanboy.
Stolen.
They want the greatest hits, and he started playing stuff from the new album. It's embarrassing. No one wants to hear that. Come on.
Not going to accept this. In fact, this is a quote that Real Clear Politics gives. I did watch the thing. It was like 45 minutes long though, and it was a bit dull. And
motherfucker, I watched nearly 13 hours worth of dull shit. Do some fucking research, you lazy prick.
Suffer for your art, man. Know your stuff.
40 minutes.
Know what you're talking
that's
about.
40 minutes of listening to a man you like. You lazy bastard.
Like I said, it wasn't his best, but he said
research though,
it was
Kevin.
about many other
So much
things,
research.
but above all, it was about fraud. This election was rigged. Everybody knows it. I don't mind if I lose an election, but I want to lose an election.
Except that you literally said there's no way you could lose but by fraud. So you do mind losing an election. You're a liar.
Multiple times.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Election fair and square. What I don't want to do is have it stolen from the American people. That's what we're fighting for. We have no choice to be doing that. We already have the proof. We already have the evidence, and it's very clear. Many people in the media and even judges have so far refused to accept it. They know it's true.
Judges you appointed. Judges that you, Donald Trump, appointed have said you're full of shit.
Yes. Yes.
And the thing is, it's going nowhere. We all know these court cases are going nowhere.
But this keeps the base hyped up. It keeps people angry and dehumanizing the people who, Biden and the people who support him.
And donating.
Mm-hmm.
True,
Yeah,
they know
especially
it's there.
donating.
They know who won the election, but they refuse to say, you're right. Our country needs somebody to say, you're right. Ultimately, I'm prepared to accept any accurate election result, and I hope that Joe Biden is as well. So, I mean, I think that Trump is...
Joe Biden already has.
Yes, because it's been certified by the states.
I mean, should we have a look?
At the Electoral College?
Oh, okay.
Look at it. 306 was a landslide, right?
That's exactly what it was 4 years ago when he got Trump got the exact same number. I just want to check. I'm not a mathematician, but can we 306 is a bigger number than 232. That is. Let me just do some mathematics. Yeah, no, it is. It's a bigger number. Yeah. Okay.
I just, part of me feels, and I know this is wrong and a little bit, I don't know, existentialist or whatever, but I feel like the entire world a little bit had to take 4 years out just to shit on Donald Trump. Because the fact that he lost by the exact same amount he won by, I mean, there's just so many things karmically that have happened to him. And I think when people are long past Trump and his effects have, been forgotten, that he'll be looked at as almost like a tragic figure, but from more like a Richard III.
Yeah, a little bit, yeah.
Because there are just so many, it's like how there's a tweet for everything. He's just set himself up for all of these individual failures. So anyway, I just
wanted to point out the popular vote count. He's now winning by over 7 million. So
yeah,
that's just a thing. Just know that.
Over 51%.
Right. I think there is proof. There is evidence. I mean, there is a woman literally coming out and said, I committed fraud.
She is lying.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's confirmation bias run amok. It really is.
Yeah. Someone in the chat, by the way, and I think this is Tear Both Eyes Out. It's an interesting name. This is explained even in the court doc. She was told to mark them with the date they were received.
So she's literally just lying. Her testimony before the committee wasn't even the same as the affidavit. Brilliant.
Because I was instructed to do so. And so the idea that there's no evidence, there's no witnesses, there's nothing concrete, and that the Americans should just accept it and come into Joe Biden's loving embrace, the dear leader. It's
the dear leader. Motherfucker, you've been wanking off the president for the last 4 years. You are not in a position to accuse anyone else of doing dear leader.
Yeah. Also, this oh, damn it. I was thinking about the dear leader thing and now I got distracted. But what was the last thing he was talking about before that? Sorry, can you go back? I know I hate to do this, but...
Yeah, that there's no evidence, there's no witnesses, there's nothing concrete, and that the Americans should just accept...
The thing is that things happen in every election. Weird things happen, technical problems. There is even, occasionally some voter fraud in the, handful of cases.
You're dealing with 160 million votes.
Yes. If Carl had actually read any of the court documents, you'll know that one of the things the courts look at is, okay, even if we grant you these votes are problematic and we throw them out, it won't change the result. It's not just enough to find fraud and overturn the results of the election, which is what it sounds like he wants to happen. Any fraud means invalid anywhere for the whole country. So that was my thought.
Accept it and come into Joe Biden's loving embrace, the dear leader. It's absurd. And I can see why people are refusing to go along with it. I can see why people are getting so angry. Obviously, don't do anything crazy, but it looks like the MAGA movement is coming out swinging.
Cope.
Don't do anything crazy, come out swinging. Yeah. So that's, I mean, Carl is living in a
Fantasyland.
A right-wing fantasy world of his own making.
He is indeed.
Yes. You are quiet again for me, if you can leave. Closer.
No, I refuse. Anyway,
All right.
So are we? Is the microphone okay? Are we?
Yeah, that's much better actually.
Okay, I'll talk into the microphone.
Yeah. As long as you don't smack your lips. Smackety Carl.
That's really annoying. Anyway, birds with asses.
Oh my, okay. I looked down the chat to read something about bad movies, and I turn my eyes up, and there's a bird ass in my brain now.
Birds with asses?
What?
There's just some birds with asses. It's a thing. It's a thing.
I think these should be stamps.
They should be. They should be.
I would buy those stamps.
A cat. Just a cat being cool. Just doing the pity patty thing, and then little kiss.
Lovely.
Oh, that's nice. Oh yeah, homophobe or transphobe. When you can place two people of the same male sex in a room, they can reproduce. Let us know why. Yeah, both is the answer.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's the crazy racist woman from the thing. Oh, the cope here. Recount or revote the entire 2020 presidential election. 2.5 million people have signed that.
Yeah,
that is mental.
Look who it's addressed to. These always kill me.
The Supreme Court of the United States. They don't do that.
No, they don't. They don't do that. And almost like 3 million people have signed something that like can't legally happen.
Yeah, that's.
You can't petition the Supreme Court.
Well, that's
and
even if you copium.
How would they enforce the overturnment?
I've just seen in chippy tits is trending. Why are chippy tits? Half the people are scousers who know exactly what it's about, and half the people wondering what the fuck it means. Yeah, I'm second half. I'm second half. What's Mayor Joe speech endorsing gender-neutral toilets, in which he accuses Liverpool resistors of hate and bullying. Chippy tits. What the fuck?
Wait, there's sound with it. There's sound.
Oh, this shite that. It's just a conspiracy against me. What it is, the lobster pot. I owed the lobster pot money out at sick bill, didn't I? You know what I mean? It was all a steak pie dinners, double steak pie dinners, heavy on the onions, with mushy peas, heavy.
Oh, that's just weird. I don't know what that is. It's just weird.
That's the video version of your picture.
Yeah, basically.
We got music and video versions tonight.
Basically. Chippy tits. It's a thing. I don't know what it is, but it's a thing.
I'm going to need a moment to recover.
Okay, well, while you do that, they've mixed up another 2 states.
Oh, God, no.
The cracking conspiracy is so vast that in Arizona, they uncovered the fact that Arizona state officials did not comply with the wishes of the Georgia state legislature. They literally cited Georgia legislation in Arizona. They're idiots.
Fucking amazing.
And that's not even geographically worthwhile. I mean, how far away are those 2 fucking states?
I want to know how Carl's going to explain this away. It's not just a typo or a formatting issue.
He's not going to read this. He doesn't care.
No, he can't even watch Trump for 45 minutes because he's boring.
Yeah, exactly. Joseph DeGeneva, who's this prick, said that the who was it? The cybersecurity expert Krebs should be shot.
Yes, basically calling for violence. Yep.
Just, I mean, the Trump campaign are terrorists at this point. I don't know how else to look at it.
Yeah, and his punishment was he had to resign from his golf club.
Some club or another. I don't know. The Ohio Department of Health now recommend those in Ohio avoid traveling to Ohio.
I can't even. I mean, I know that's like a sad thing with COVID. But
Ohio has been added to Ohio Department of Health's COVID-19 travel advisory map, meaning that the state is recommending Ohioans avoid travel to Ohio, and those entering Ohio after travelling from Ohio were advised to self-quarantine in Ohio for 14 days.
Tell me this is some sort of, like, error.
Nope.
I don't know what to say.
It's just a thing.
Oh, God. 2020, man.
Do you want to see some funny cringe? Stephen Crowder
yeah.
doing a Limp Bizkit inspired pro-Trump song at CPAC.
Oh my God, this is so white.
So that's conservative comedic genius Stephen Crowder.
Oh my God, that is so white on so many levels.
Yeah. Ben Garrison. Happy birthday, Mr. President.
Great.
MAGA, and then there's a T for Trump, I think. From the deplorables. Haha, that's funny. Someone pointed out, Vadim said, how will most of your fans know what a birthday cake is without a large graphic saying cake to tip them off? Ben Garrison blocked him. Nice.
Very nicely done, Vadim.
Well
I
worked.
applaud you.
Well worked.
I mean, I would, but I'm drinking a glass of something right now.
Oh, this is just slightly weird. This guy interrupts and he just starts interviewing him during the news.
Oh, awesome. Let's see it.
Oh, you want to see it? Okay.
Yeah, I haven't seen this.
Tavarius, is everything okay?
Okay. My government leaders have abandoned me. Are you the owner? $4 trillion of stimulus money. They gave it to who? Special interest groups and campaign donors. I'm Dave Morse. I own the place. So what's going on? What's going on? You know what's going on. Tell me. You tell me. Hey, we got a government that has taken the stimulus money. They gave it to special campaign donors. They gave it to special interests. They abandoned me, and they have put me in a position where I have to fight back. Okay? So do you feel that this is the right thing to do? Absolutely. I feel everybody needs to stand up. Hey, listen, there was enough money to give every family in this country $20,000 to go home for 2 months. They chose to give it to special interests and campaign donors, the Kennedy Space Center, and they abandoned us. So you could have given me money. I'd gladly walk away for 60 days and let this virus settle down. I'm not going to do it alone. Okay? Are you going to continue to violate the state's orders and stay open? This is a state order. This isn't an order. This is a conspiracy. This is a tyranny.
He went
he had some.
Yeah. He was nearly there, and then he went.
Yeah, he was going. He was like really veered into class critique, and then just went right back into conspiracy theories.
Yeah, we would look at that. These tattoos are amazing.
Oh my God.
That's.
Oh my God.
I don't even know what.
Why?
He's got a forehead flag.
Why? You know, his hair is the flag, isn't it?
But that's forehead. Look, that's not even hair. That's.
But there's ripples in it, like his hair.
Well, because I think that's hair, and then they did a tattoo of the flag over the top of the hair. I think.
But
weird. It's just weird and shit.
It's like it's not a bandana. No, it is shit.
Yeah, it's just shit.
Like imagine having sex, and then like that is what you're looking at when he's sort of like on top of you.
It's like an American flag do-rag. That's what it is. That is monstrous.
Oh God! Well, he looks like Rodney Dangerfield.
He does. Hey everybody, we're all gonna get laid.
Hey, no respect. Oh my God! Oh wow!
Vote for Trump. That's on someone's ass. They've also got the weird G-string tattoo as well.
Yes.
Into the
kind
ass. Someone had to tattoo into the ass crack.
You'd be surprised where people get tattoos.
Oh fucking hell! And then that is fucking nightmare.
Oh my
fuel.
God! It's the zombie.
Does this
I didn't
offend
put that
you?
in the Martian
It
movies.
does offend me, but not for political reasons.
I find it horrific.
Yeah, I will wake up screaming with that image in my head.
Trump zombie is my next Halloween costume.
Look at its teeth. What the fuck is going on there? It's so weird. Anyway, so this is what I spend my time looking at online. It's fine. Normal. Talking of voter fraud, it turns out it's the Republicans doing it. This is a Florida
again.
GOP attorney saying to commit fraud in Georgia.
Have to do whatever it takes, and if that means changing your address for the next 2 months, so be it. I'm doing that. I'm moving to Georgia. Have to do.
But that's illegal. That's literally an illegal thing to do. That's an attorney in Florida saying he was going to commit a crime.
Well,
and advising other people to
on
do
tape.
So. On tape, yeah.
They make it easy, at least.
Yep, true. Enjoy prison. Rudy Giuliani, that's him losing his shit as well as farting.
Exclamation mark.
Look at that little belly.
Oh, look at the little puppy belly. He's so cute. The face chew.
Yeah, this is quite nice. Seeing Mike Pence have to swear in a Democrat senator while a bisexual woman in a purple wig and a zebra print coat holds the Bible is extremely pleasing to me. Correct.
Yep, all Americans.
That's nice. A guy called Adolf Hitler won an election.
Right, I think his full name is a little bit longer than that.
Adolf Hitler Unona, who's ran in for a regional election in Namibia, won 85% of the vote.
Yeah. What the fuck is up with his name?
I don't know or care, but his name's Adolf Hitler. So
yeah, that just kind of like yeah.
Yeah, that's
wow.
By the way, that's Adolf Hitler on the right and Adolf Hitler on the left. Just in case you were confused.
If your brain's blowing up, it's okay.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. Yeah. It's just weird. This is the greatest piece of nonsense I've ever seen. Roger Stone says North Korean boats delivered ballots through Main Harbour as Trump boasts fraud. The North Koreans were using
all the way around the world.
Yeah, they went presumably. Well, either they went Panama Canal or they went all the way around the Cape. Cape Horn, is it? The South America.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then used boats to deliver ballots through Main Harbour. Also, by the way, just out of interest, that's Trump. Roger Stone baselessly says North Korea delivered.
You know what this is? That is if you had a Trump administration version of Mad Libs.
Yeah.
And a list of words that you could choose from.
Well, it's like one of those things on Facebook where you use your first letter of your name and the second letter and then your birth date or something, and it's like, the North Koreans delivered by a boat through Maine or something like this. One of those.
Yes, that.
It's a Trump election fraud nonsense version of that.
Yes.
Yeah. So that's a thing. Just centralized.
I mean, how could you not give that a treat? Or go for a walk or whatever. Oh my God, my heart melted even more.
Yeah, look at that little face. And then look at the face looking up at it. Oh, it's a big brother. Oh. That's adorable.
Yes, it is.
This is not so adorable.
Oh, great.
So this is from Parler again. I'm so tired of these fucking cry children who want everything cancelled as we know it. They are why our world has gone to crap cancel culture crybabies who pout till they get what they want. You never guess what this person does. Fuck women, sucker and night. They're a disgrace to America and need to be defunded and cancelled.
Of course.
After Netflix hearing shows that they think is okay for adults to have sex with children, I deleted my account. It's garbage.
Cancelled.
All government program welfare, IRS unemployment needs completely dudmantled. I think she means dismantled and redone.
Yeah.
So she's cancel everything that I don't like, but cancel culture is bad.
Mm-hmm.
Fun times.
Yeah, cancel culture.
Why is the GOP so silent on? That's it.
Is he friends with the deer guy?
I think so. That's just how he ended the sentence. That's fair enough. I mean, I want to know that too.
Yeah. I mean, I think that's actually worse than Ed Ball's day.
Probably, yeah. This is... oh, God. The right can't mean. Peter Sweden, bless his tiny little racist face. Leftist, are you really unashamed to be a traditional conservative? Me, yes. And then a picture. And then he responded, this is a meme, by the way.
But, nobody wants it.
Are you fucking kidding me, Peter? Are you joking with me now? This is the saddest, most pathetic thing I've ever... This is a meme, by the way.
Clap now, please.
Yeah, it is. Peter Sweden, everybody. A genius.
There you go.
A living legend. Oh, yeah, this is a Trump, another lie. Pro-Biden effort offered Native Americans $25 to $500 Visa gift cards and jewelry to vote. No. This was A, bipartisan, and B, was if you voted and could prove you voted, you were entered into a raffle, regardless of who you voted for. So it was after the election, it was bipartisan, no one was being induced to vote.
Nope.
For a candidate. They were being induced to vote, in general, they were trying to drive up Native American participation, but again, bipartisan. So, just a lie.
Yep.
No crime was committed here.
100% fake news.
Indeed. Talking of which, who would have thought that Newsmax head White House correspondent Emerald Robinson is an anti-vax loser?
Oh, imagine that.
I was shocked because they have such great journalistic standards over at Newsmax. Yeah.
Yeah, they really vet their stories.
Indeed. That's the Trump. That's more conservative cancel culture. America is weird. So that's Jesus
Again,
with
is this
Trump.
one of those?
And that's a Biden Baphomet thing.
So, again, cooler than he really is.
Yeah, that exactly. That'd be awesome if he came out with a goat head. Like if he came out with Baphomet and was like new Homeland Security advisor. So good stuff.
I mean, it's kind of bizarre to me because it's the obvious picture would be of the Pope.
It is. Yeah. Yeah.
I see what you did there.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Michael Moore, for once, a cool thing. Donald Trump says Dominion contracts, Detroit, blah 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 blah, and then someone put this picture together of him with Hugo Chavez. The Dominion election stealing conference 2009. It's true. It's true that happened. That's a real thing. Yes.
Do you know who the other guys are?
No. Should I?
Oh, okay. No, I don't either. I was just curious.
Well, presumably this is just a picture of a fat dude and two other dudes who met Hugo Chavez sometime.
Right.
And then someone put Michael Moore's face and a thing. I don't know. I don't know who they are. Maybe someone knows. Anyway. Oh yeah, this is Newt Gingrich cancelling Lynn Wood and Sidney Powell because they said don't vote for the Republicans because they're stealing the election. So.
This is exactly what he cultivated in the 90s.
Exactly, yeah.
And he's lived to watch it turn around and start to eat his party up.
Yeah, Mary Shelley called from fucking 300 years ago. She's got news for you. Well, 200 years, whatever. Yeah. Lynn Wood and Sidney Powell are totally destructive. Every Georgia conservative who cares about America must vote in the runoff. Their don't vote strategy will cripple America.
Yeah, because the elections are fraudulent anyway, but it's really important that you vote.
Yeah, that man's name is Newt.
Newt.
Dan Browning, who you may remember was a brown man.
Yes, he briefly appeared on Twitter as a brown man.
Briefly a black dude, old Dan.
And it claimed to be so. It wasn't just that he had the picture.
Yeah, no,
he said.
Yeah, he said
as
a white man. He said he was a black man.
Yeah.
Trump won't concede because quitting is anti-American. Dan Browning concedes to Lisa Scheller in GOP primary in La Jolla Valley, 7th Congressional District.
My God, I love Twitter sometimes.
Un-American Dean Browning. Fuck you.
That is an amazing account. Bless you. I'm not a religious person, but you're just awesome.
This is amazing. So Senator Marsha Blackburn, racist, Ohio, or whatever state she's from, I don't know. China has a 5,000-year history of cheating and stealing. Some things will never change.
Wow. Yeah. Fucking racist.
And then from the China state-affiliated media, this is the most racist and ignorant senator I've ever seen. A lifetime bitch. Wow. That guy did not come to fucking play silly games.
No. Did she clap back at all, or is that?
I don't think so. No.
I'm sure she would have been blah 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 blah. I can insult you, but you can't insult me back.
Yeah.
I made it about everybody, and you just made it about me.
Yeah, that's so. Tim Pool had Destiny on for a chat.
Oh, okay. I missed that.
And well, I did too because I don't care. But someone posted this. This is Tim Pool trying to downplay Trump not conceding. So.
Okay.
I don't think they tried to flip the result in 2016 for the most part. There was a whole lot of the Hillary can still win stuff. And
Hillary conceded the next day.
But
absolutely not even remotely similar.
It's remotely similar. I would say it's
maybe
not,
like
it's
the
not
way
the
that
thing.
Antarctica is remotely close to like Pluto.
That is true. They are in the same galaxy. So yes.
Which was the first planet of comparison?
Pluto.
Mercury.
No. What do you
Mercury
mean?
was close to. He said that's like saying Mercury is close to Pluto.
Something.
Or what did he say?
Okay. No, did he say Antarctic or something?
That Antarctica is remotely close to like Pluto.
Yeah, Antarctica is close to Pluto.
Oh,
which is technically,
okay,
in a universal sense, is very true.
Yeah, on the size of the scale. Just you just keep going up. If you just don't, measure scale very much, or don't use it as a point of comparison.
Indeed.
24 hours is the same thing as 2 weeks.
Indeed. Yes. So, Trump again trying to interfere with the Department of Justice because he's a fascist.
Oh, great.
Trump's aide, who worked as White House liaison to the DOJ, has been barred from the DOJ after she pushed people to give her information about the department's election fraud investigations and other sensitive subjects.
Wow. Yeah, he's got agents of his, basically his intelligence minions. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but she's literally been banned from the building because she's harassing people for information that the White House should not have.
Yep.
Yeah, that's a generalist lying about shit.
Oh, her background.
We have systematic fraud nonsense, but that's the court case is happening today. So I've saved that one for later because he says we've got so much thing, we're going to go to court and it's going to definitely win, blah, blah, blah. That's in court today and will be thrown out today. And I'm going to compare and contrast maybe next time we speak. Well, not tomorrow. But,
okay. Yeah, soon.
Indeed. Oh, Jesus. Agree, we are getting ready to push back and kick and the rest of this is in caps lock, hell out of the terrorist, Antifa, communist out of this country to the Chinaman, that with the Chinaman, I've not heard the word Chinaman for a long time.
No, not since the Big Lebowski.
Indeed. Chinaman, coronavirus, the Chinaman and the communist Democrats are trying to destroy this country so they make it a socialist communist country.
That was coherent.
Yeah, no, I got a lot of information from that. But that's just, again, just parlour. Just parlour being parlour. That's such a great account to follow because they're just the nonsense on parlour is just amazing. What a statistic this is. Law enforcement took more stuff from people last year than burglars.
Whoa! What? Oh, asset forfeitures.
Yeah, so the police are stealing more from you than burglars are. In America.
Wow.
Grim. Oh yeah, the House, I mean, it's not going anywhere because Mitch McConnell's fucking garbage, but the House voted to legalise marijuana.
Yeah, good.
Yeah.
And we should definitely move that forward in the US. It's stupid laws.
And if we win in Georgia, maybe. But
oh, and I saw in my bookmarks, we don't have to look at them, but San Francisco, I think it was, banned indoor smoking, but smoking marijuana indoors is legal. I always think that's so funny when they're like, what? Okay, eventually they'll catch up, but all right.
But again, look at the Democrats voted for, Republicans against. Not surprising.
Haruka is really trying to push Metal Kenneth Copeland.
What?
In the chat. It's a video link. You can check it out later if you want.
Okay, I'll have a look.
Although it's pretty hard to get to work. Yeah, for some reason.
I don't know why it does that. Hang on. Copy.
Yeah.
Save link. No, hang on. No, I don't.
No.
Copy.
Go to? Okay. Yeah, maybe it just cuts off the address.
No, I think it does, yeah. Oh, no, hang on.
Yeah.
No video. Oh, fuck's sake. Metal Kenneth.
Copeland. Kenneth Copeland. Yeah.
It's not even. Oh, for fuck's sake!
Haruka.
This is so not going to be worth it now. Right. Metal Kenneth Copeland. Right, this better be it. What?
Because we have... Yes!
We'll exercise judgment right now.
Because we have...
In the name of Jesus!
Oh, thank you.
Standing in the office of the prophet of God, I execute judgment on you, I execute judgment on you, Satan, you destroyer, you killer, you get out, you break your power, you get off this nation. I demand judgment on you. I demand a vaccination to come immediately.
and that was pretty cool.
That was good. Yeah.
Glad we got there in the end. And then just to finish off, a cat using a washing machine as a hamster wheel.
Wonderful. Yes, just be careful, kitty.
Yeah. Oh, bless. Anyway,
That
one down the bottom was like, nah, fuck that. I'm off.
No, that looks like too much exercise.
Yeah. So I'm done, basically.
Yeah. Well, I think we've been going for a while, so I think we can probably just be done.
Yeah, just the cheeky little. Hang on, how many hours is that? 3 and nearly 4. So we were almost there.
Yes, that's true. Almost 4.
Yeah. But anyway, yeah, thanks to everyone for listening and watching to whatever the fuck this was. Yeah, and
yes, I concur.
Join me.
And
Join us tomorrow, 7 p.m. UK time, 8 p.m. Central
Kristi
European
time.
2 p.m. on the east coast of Americana land, where we'll be looking at Frankenstein meets the Space Monster. Amazing piece of cinema.
Shit.
Technically, both of those statements is true. It is both cinema and shit.
Yeah.
So, yeah, join us for that. And, yeah, thank you for joining me, Krista.
Yeah, it was a fun time and quite a ride.
Cool. Awesome. Thank you to everyone for listening and watching. I've been Kevin Logan, and I'll say goodbye. And she's been Kristi Winters, and she'll say goodbye. Say goodbye, Krista.
Goodbye, Kristi.
She's